Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your host, Mario. Today I am joined with none other than Leon.
Hello.
There's the boy. I also have Aaron.
Hello.
There's the other boy.
Wait a minute.
Now I have a last boy. He's over there. His name is Pele. What's good, Pele?
Hey, I'm trying to just look for like sales of exotic meats right now. I look at this lion price right now. It's $10,000 for a pound of lion.
That's
you can get.
incredibly not worth it. Carnivore meat apparently is disgusting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, but you
Technically
get
speaking,
yeah.
it's overpriced.
It is overpriced. I'd say you get to say that you ate a lion.
But you didn't even kill the lion.
I know you get the meat though.
And
Yeah, I don't know, man. If you
No.
eat a lion and you didn't kill it, you
if I'm gonna eat a lion, it means I killed that fucker. Hopefully with my bare hands.
Hopefully.
If I killed a lion,
Makes a
if I
better
got
story.
attacked by a lion and I like a mountain lion or something, and I kill it, I'm eating its heart, bro. I'm absorbing its power like fucking Native American shit.
I must become better. I will take the lion's power. Does this apply for gorillas too? I would assume so.
Yes.
Any animal.
Well, I mean lion mainly because it's like the hunting thing. You can definitely get some meat from elephants. We eat crocodiles and bears. Bears actually is pretty good, depending if you cook it right.
I had
would
crocodile
fuck with
recently.
bear.
Crocodile is weird.
Crocodile's just chicken. It literally.
Mostly
It's
chicken.
like it's
Almost
really
anything
slimy,
chicken.
oily chicken.
Well, it depends on how it's the one
Is
when
that
I
how
had
it's
it.
cooked? Did you
when
have-
I had it,
how
it
did you
wasn't.
had it?
It wasn't slimy. It was actually.
I had fried, but it was.
It
was
might
like
have just been
slimy,
like part of the
not
tail, like the part of the tail that
It's
it
probably
was.
by the tail.
Because
Yeah.
the part of the tail that I had, it literally was it was almost like I would say catfish, more catfish than chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's less of it being like texture, or it's not like texture, like it's like flavor oily.
Oh,
If that
it probably
makes sense.
yeah. It's probably like a lot.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
lot
no,
of
that
fat.
part I get. Yeah.
Like I've had bear meat
I was
before,
like, oh.
and I think bear meat is, in my opinion, overhyped.
Oh,
It can be
really?
very sweet.
I didn't even know it
Very.
was like a thing that people were like, yeah.
There's a whole
bear
thing
meat,
of people
bro.
eating bear meat. I wouldn't recommend it because bears are not the greatest animals to eat because of how many parasites they have.
Yeah, every
Damn.
single piece of bear meat you get.
Like you have to fucking get
To
like make sure
cook
it's
it.
like you gotta make sure because
It's also very greasy because there's a shitload of
bears are
fat.
fat,
I would
dude.
imagine.
They're
Yeah,
big. They're
it's
big.
another
Bears
thing.
are in fact fat.
Yeah.
That makes
Mhm.
sense.
By the way, I'm not insulting bears. All right, we're not fat shaming bears. All right, it's okay.
I feel like a skinny bear would actually be really
That'd
bad.
be scary.
A
That
skinny
would be
bear
a
would be
big-
concerning.
Bro, I saw a photo. I
Yeah.
saw a photo down here. They had polar bears down here in Costa Rica in the zoo at one point, which I thought was incredibly inhumane. It was fucked up. They're not here anymore,
Mhm.
thankfully. But there was a photo that I saw of one of them, and I was like, "Get that fucker out of here! Why the fuck?
Get that bear some
Get
meat.
the bear some ice. Fuck the meat. Get that bear some fucking
Bears
snow."
do not belong in Costa
He's
Rica.
not
My
okay.
brother in
He's
Christ,
not
bro,
okay.
he's in
Help.
a tropical ass country, and I'm like, that's a polar bear. Why the fuck? I get it, we need to keep him safe, but send him to somewhere cold, not here.
Greenland, Iceland, fucking Canada.
I felt
Put him in a freezer.
I felt so bad for him, and it was a smaller zoo, so they didn't necessarily have the money for it was not the greatest place, so they got him out of there, which is good. But I was like, fuck, it's like I see huskies down here, and I'm generally like, damn, why did you do that to this
is
poor
unfortunate
animal?
for the husky.
Because they always gotta shave him, and then the husky looks fucking weird as shit.
Oh, no.
Or
You have to shave him.
or they gotta have them like in an area cool, and they can't go outside too long because they'll overheat. Because it doesn't get as hot as the U.S. Or in North Carolina, Monty. When we lived in fucking North Carolina, people that had huskies in North Carolina, bro,
Mhm.
you better have them inside. There's no way you have those
They be
fuckers
going through it.
outside. There's no way.
They
yeah,
be
no,
going through it during certain
I have a
parts.
friend who's a husky.
Like
They keep it inside.
at least in the winter,
Yeah.
they could go outside and be like, "Oh, thank God, this is what I was made for." But
I'm built for
during the
this.
summer in North Carolina, and it's 95 fucking degrees, and it's 27% fucking humidity, and you're inhaling water. That poor animal's not gonna live very long outside. That poor fucking creature.
It's just not for
It's not
it.
built for
It's-
this shit.
It's falling
It's like
apart.
having a chihuahua in the Arctic. What the fuck is he doing there?
Why would you do that to it?
It doesn't matter how many coats and how many little booties and cute little things you put on him. No, he's gonna be freezing his ass off.
Fucking chihuahua.
He's not built for this type
Like,
of weather.
I felt bad for Tico in North Carolina during the winter because I'm like, yeah, the summertime he's cool. It's like, yeah, it's hot, but I can deal with it. But like in the fucking winter, he would go out and look at me when he would have to go pee. He would look at me like, bro, please don't make me go out there.
Don't make me
And
go
I'm like,
out
this is it. This is the choices we have, man. I'll go out and stand with you, but I can't do anything else. Like the process.
Dog's just looking back at you like, come on,
Like
man.
I would have
There's gotta be
especially
another
like
way.
at night when he'd go out, I'd put a fucking. He would have like a little jacket, you know, that I'd put out. I fucking don't care if you make fun of me for putting clothes on my dog. Okay, that shit helped him out. It was.
I mean, I do too.
Like,
I have a little.
I
Shih
fucking
Tzu, so.
put like a little jacket on him, and he learned how to wear booties in the winter because like it was cold and his little paws, you know, like this shit's not good. So like we had that little he'd do like the weird dog walk when they have shoes on, but he would always go out and like find a place to pee, and he would look at me. He would look back at me like, bro, please, why? And I'm like hurry up, man. I'm sorry.
It's like, this is the only way.
Who
It's
does
not like
that?
you can use the
You
toilet.
know? Jesus. Anyways, everybody here does anyone here
That's
like
hilarious,
everybody
though.
here has cats, right? No, Pele has a little.
I have a
Shih Tzu.
dog. I had a cat.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
okay.
I have cats.
I have a
That
has
multiple
dog
pets.
nephew.
You have a dog now. Oh, your sister's got
Not
a
by
dog.
choice, by the way. Not by choice.
What kind of dog does your sister have?
She has a German Shepherd Husky.
That's an interesting mix. That's it. The
That is.
poor.
She's
He must
adorable.
fucking scream. Holy shit.
He couldn't only be talkative. Like,
Actually, no. He's actually.
Did he get the fucking German Shepherd sign? Because
I guess
Yes,
so.
he did actually.
bro,
He actually looks
huskies
like a
are the like that's one thing I love them, but I would they're like when you go like visit someone and they have kids. You know, the kids are kind of cute and they're fun to pick up and they're fun. You know, it's really cute. But then they start crying and you're like, all right, there you go, back to mom, back to dad, get the fuck out of my face. You know, that's like how I feel about huskies, bro. They're cool, but I hear them start screaming and I'm like, oh, get that shit out of my face.
Huskies are talkative. Shibas are talkative
Yeah,
too.
but Shibas
Those
don't
are too talkative.
scream like.
They don't scream.
Yeah, no, they don't have the howls.
Do you remember our bus stop in high school, right, Amani? So it would pick you up down there, and then it would go pick me up, and then it would keep going, and then it would pick up like Trina and a bunch of people like on that other one, or like it would pick me up. I would have to walk down there in high school. Never mind. That's where I would get picked up. The house on that corner had these big ass fucking walls, right, and they had huskies there. Bro, at night, I could hear them screaming from my fucking house sometimes. Like, I could hear them screaming from there. Imagine how
You're like,
loud
"Damn it."
that shit was when they were, like, the neighbors.
Wow.
Like next to you.
They had, like, fucking 4 fucking huskies. And, like, when the fucking female was in heat, because they would breed them, the female was in heat, and all the other males would fucking go insane, dude. They had, like, 2 females and, like, 3 males. And, like, the fucking females would be like, I'm horny! And all the males would be like, ah! And like it's just for like hours
Leave
into
us
the night,
alone.
Let us fuck.
Yes! Finally!
Like it's just like
You know what would have been added to that, actually, Aaron, which would have been hilarious, is like while they're howling, then Tico joins in too. He's like, "Oh,"
he
like,
was
his little
he
tiny
looked
self
scared
just
as
bugging
shit,
along. You're
dude.
like,
Are you
"Take it
kidding me?
out."
He would hear that shit. He was scared. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck, dude?"
What's this primal rage I'm hearing?
He understood what was happening over there, and he's like, "Tell me they're not coming
What
here."
the fuck is going on over there, man?
Can't handle that.
Like, Tico was a brave little, as most Chihuahuas and small dogs, he has Napoleon syndrome. So like, he believes he's a much bigger dog than he is. But
It's too much dog for me to handle.
There's a lot going on over there, man. A lot of tension. If you catch my drift.
I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah, so
That's too much.
shout out. Oh, bro, honestly, tag us in pictures
That's
of
what you got to do sometimes.
If you take pictures of your pets and tag us and send them to us, I want to see what kind
Oh,
of pets
deadass,
people
yeah.
have.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's like something
see your
weird, like a
pets.
lizard or something. I want to see. I love people that have weird ass pets. They're always weird motherfuckers, but it's interesting.
Go ahead and hit us up at paper _.
My friend Chini, bro. Chini got a
Send it.
chameleon.
Oh, bro, that's
She got a
really
fucking
cool.
Jackson chameleon, bro. And I was like, hell yeah, bro. That's fucking dope as shit. That's actually awesome as hell.
It's a sick ass. Do you know what she named
I
it?
don't remember. I'll have to ask her.
Damn.
I don't remember what she called it.
We'll have to find out. We have to find out.
But yeah,
That was a great conversation about literally
nothing.
anything,
Literally
but-
nothing. Sorry about that, people.
Literally nothing.
That was 10 minutes of us talking about whatever the fuck. Sorry.
Hey, it's
It's
what
no, it's
happens with
perfect.
us. Yeah.
We've literally just been chatting for a minute, and it's just continued on into the podcast.
It's the best kind
Woo,
of
podcast 99. Let's go.
let's try to at least talk about what we've been messing around and playing and watching and things like that. Because there's probably a ton of stuff that we've gone through.
I'll go first. It's been a minute since I've been on the podcast, honestly. But I've been doing a lot. Been just mostly just been studying, honestly. Kind of chilling, really. But I've been playing. There's actually a mobile game that I wanted to talk about that I have been playing.
Okay.
And it's like a card game. It's called Cultist Simulator. Okay. It's not
okay. That sounds
not
fun
new by any means, but it's like a card game, where I haven't gotten very far because it's actually pretty hard. I think I played a version. It's the same company that I had another version of, but it's no longer in the App Store. So I'm thinking they took it off, and this is like their new one because it was like it was $2, and I was looking at it, and all the reviews were like, "Yo, this game's like if you like this type like building up stuff, card games, time based things like this." You're gonna fucking love this because it's very in depth, and I was like, "Ooh!" And it had the whole
I have
Eldritch
seen this
and
before.
everything. Yeah, you can get it on your computer
before.
too. I think.
Yeah, it's like it's for sure like on
yeah,
Steam.
you can get it on Steam too.
Yeah.
But I found it on my
I've seen
phone, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this looks amazing for when I'm on the bus, just not doing anything. Like, it's fucking great for taking my mind off stuff." And it's actually hard. Like, it's very hard. There was an older one that I played that was card based too, but it was a little bit more simplified. This one has like. You have all the like cards for separate different actions. You have cards for emotions. You have cards for like a bunch of like if you have too much attention on you, stuff like that you get. And like you can study something with passion, and it'll give you a different result than if you study something with logic, right? So you can study with passion, and you can get like something else, and study with logic, and you'll figure out how to like maybe do a glyph or something. Like there's a lot of really specific things that you can do. Like talking to people, you can like seduce them, which really doesn't mean that you're gonna fuck them, although I think you can, but it's more like trying to get them into your cult kind of deal. And you can get different gods from what I understand, depending on like what you're doing. But I haven't gotten very far. I honestly kind of am struggling a little bit, but it's just a very in-depth game. I have to pause and like read everything and then like continue, so it takes a long time. But the depthness of it is really nice for like I love card games like that. So like for me, it's like, oh, dude, it's amazing.
This does sound super interesting.
And
what is the goal though?
The goal is to make your cult. The goal is to make a cult, and depending, I believe, on the god that you are trying to summon, there's like specific goals you have to achieve to do that. So your goal is to get that. But whenever like I went to this place and I was talking to this guy at this like library that has a bunch of occult shit, and I was like kind of talking to him, trying to get him to join my cult. What happened was people started noticing my cult more, and then I got the cops called on me. And it was like nothing. They didn't find anything because they didn't have anything, so it was whatever. But that can just happen. Like you can do too much things, it gets too much attention. You have to kind of balance things out because there's nothing you can do. You're gonna get this, so you have to be like, all right, I'm gonna take this, chill for a little bit, and do these other things. And then once that's gone, you have to do a lot of balancing. So right now I'm still in the learning process of it, but like overall it's like very in depth. So I'm enjoying it quite a lot. It's Cultist Simulator: Bring the Dawn. That's the full name of it, by the way.
Okay, because I saw it when I looked it up.
Yeah.
It looks cool though. It's got nominations. It was
yeah.
awarded.
I mean, I was there's a YouTuber that I watch
Yeah.
called Mandalore Gaming. Probably a big channel. I don't think they're very. I don't know, but he did a review on it, and I didn't know he did a review on it because it came out 3 years ago. And I was playing this, and I was on YouTube, and it's like, hey, Cultist Simulator review, and I'm like, oh shit. Hell yeah, tell me about this. Please help me. And I was like, oh.
Talk to me.
And he also recommended it. He was like, and I was like, okay, thank God. So I didn't waste my $2. At least.
He's like, you don't say. Tell me more.
Please tell me more.
Please.
And also, I kind of want to see how much it is on Steam, because if I can play it on Steam, it'd be pretty dope, honestly.
But it's always against the computer, right? Like you can't go against someone else.
Oh, it's not against anything necessarily. It's not like you're. It's not like an actual like game of cards. It's like you get cards.
Like Slay the Spire.
Much,
where
it's like an RPG, basically. It's like it's like a card game, kind of like RPG. So you're not playing against somebody. You're playing against the game. basically,
The
because the game
yeah.
gives scenarios out and throws stuff at you.
On Steam, it's 20.
Steam is $20.
$20.
I'm assuming
It's $20 on Steam.
I'm assuming it's got more shit on the Steam one than it does
I would
on the
assume.
phone, because the phone one's it's the mobile version. Sorry, I just smacked the fuck out of my mic. But I'm assuming it has more. I haven't seen it on Steam, so I really don't know. But it's $2 on mobile, or it was for me.
No, it is. I just checked it
So-
too. It's like
And
$2.99.
pretty good $2 that I've spent, because every time I have to go to school and I'm on the bus for like 45, maybe an hour, I'm like just sitting there. Either we're watching a YouTube video or playing that, and
Actually, it's $1.99.
it's $1.99. Okay, I mean that's $2.
Mm.
That's
So
$2.
It's definitely $2. Well, I said $2.99. That's why I was correcting.
Well, I paid I paid $1.99 for it. I think it was on sale. That's probably
Yeah, it is. I originally said $2.99, but it is $1.99. I went back and looked, so that's why I'm correcting myself on like what the price is.
but very fun. So, if you want to summon big eldritch creatures, hopefully, and doom the world, I definitely do recommend. It's kind of like, it gives me the kind of, it's not like exactly, because it's not the same thing, but you ever play like Pandemic Inc., where like
Oh yeah,
where you like make the fucking disease and everything? It's kind of like that kind of thing.
Plague Inc.
It's not the same game style, because you can actually, if you look in the Steam page, it actually shows you that's way more complex than what I currently have. I have like 4 cards on my screen, and it's already a lot. So having that many,
yeah.
holy shit!
You can only yeah, it's meant for you to just.
I
build
legit
up
was
to
looking at that, and I was like,
ooh.
holy fuck! I have like 8 cards, and I'm
different.
already like, oh my god, there's a lot going on. But yeah.
But it's probably one of those things that, like,
As
as
you-
you learn, like this, as you get better and continue with the game, you'll just remember.
Right
stuff
now,
like
it's just I have to
off rip.
read everything, because I don't know what anything is. So I have to
Yeah.
like read the description of everything and kind of find out what it is. So it takes a while.
It's probably like a slow
Yeah.
cook.
And also, it's not really fun, because I'm looking at it, and that's what I had a lot of fun doing. Is there's a lot of organizing, because you get the cards and you can kind of stockpile them, and like organizing them around is like a really free form. You can kind of place things wherever in those squares, and it's kind of like Resident Evil like inventory management, you know?
The attachment keeps you scared.
It's kind of like that. It's very fucking satisfying. But I've been playing that pretty good amount, and then I started playing Mordhau again pretty recently, because it was free on Epic, and I've
Yeah, I
had that
need to
game
try
for
that
a
out,
very
man.
long time, and I've played it a bit, but it's one of those games that I play for a little and then I stop. Like, I'll binge it, and then usually I stop because I start getting angry at the game, because like the skill cap for that game is really fucking high. You know, the people that play that game a lot are ridiculous, and it has a pretty dedicated community. It's not huge, but it is a very dedicated community of people that have learned to play it. And I'm okay at the game, but I'll run into dudes that are like gods, and I'm like, bro, stop.
Like
It's kind of like in fucking For Honor, where they feint every fucking attack. Like, they feint like 93 different attacks in a row, and it's like,
you're like, stop trying to fake hit me.
except
Just
in
actually try to
Mordhau,
hit
it's
me,
like a
please.
whole, like, you can't, like, it's a whole thing, because it's really hard to tell animations in Mordhau because of how many different ones you can possibly have, because of like how you're swinging. And some of the weapons, it's like super hard to tell when something's a feint or not until you're like fucking 40 hours in and you're like memorizing shit, you know, where it's like, okay, so it can be really stressful. But now there's like people that don't know how to play the game, and I'm also kind of like rusty, so it's fun to just go in and swing sword, you know. It's kind of like that Battlefield feeling, you know, of just go in and die potentially 100 times, but you're still killing people while doing it a little.
You're just having fun with the chaos.
And Mordhau,
You just accept.
I
the
love.
chaos and just
I
kinda
know.
play
I know
along
you're
with it.
like. I don't know. I know you're. Amani, you said you like medieval stuff, but you didn't. It was. I don't like cowboy stuff.
I bounced off of chivalry, but I do like medieval
Yeah,
stuff.
like
yeah.
Mordhau is really fun because there's a whole level of creating your character, because you can get coins in the game, and it's all you can unlock stuff in the game, and you can like, I'm gonna make this guy my royal knight, so I'm gonna give him this helm, and you can literally ultra personalize them with all these you know, different things that you can buy for them. And it's like I have one that's a fucking I'm a dwarf with a lute, if I'm not mistaken, like a little dwarf with a lute that I just throw firebombs at people and play the lute. Like, I call him the Joker, and he's just a little dude that goes around with a really high pitched voice. It's also really fun because like you just it's a meme game, you know. So we've been playing that.
Yeah.
I'm playing that with Javi quite a
So there's
bit.
like a ton of meme builds and
It's-
stuff. I've seen some.
Javi's got one that's
where
femboy
it's just
healing, where he's got a fucking like femboy character, but all he does is heal, and he gets like top of the leaderboard consistently because he just throws out fucking healing pack.
People are like, we appreciate.
He's just
this
out here
man.
with like hundreds of thousands of points of healing. It's ridiculous.
He was like, he's clearly winning,
And it's like super fun. Like you can just like, I'm just gonna apply. I'm gonna be a giant. You know, I'm gonna be a Neanderthal. I have a build that's just called the Neanderthal. He's this dying dude with a big ass club, and like I have no armor, so I die in 4 seconds. But if I hit you,
Gone.
if I fucking make contact with
By
your
swing, you're
cranium, brother,
done.
that shit's gone.
Should have never stepped.
And
I do damage.
it's usually people can be really like you run into sweats and tryhards and everything.
Glass cannon build is
But
fun.
you also run into people that are pretty cool. So there's a lot of times where you have like really cool interactions with the enemy team and stuff like that. Or like people respect duels. Like there's this dude, which fucking I love this guy. He has a YouTube channel, but he basically role plays as Achilles. So he's got the guy with like blonde hair, and he's only wearing like the tunic, like the leather tunic and that, so it looks like the Greek, like he's got like the Greek looking helmet, I think. Or sometimes he's just helmetless. And he only uses the short sword that kind of looks like the Xiphos, the spear, and sometimes he'll use like spear and shield. But usually he'll just be like the short sword or like spear and shield. And he is fucking ridiculously good at the game when it comes to one-on-ones. And I would play all the time, and I guess like our times would match up, so I would run into him almost all the time, either on my team or against him. And I would always like be like one-on-one, and like we'd walk over like a corner, and it was so fun to fight him because hitting him was a fucking, like, it was so fucking hard to hit this guy. Like he had the movements down and he had the blocking, and like he would just move around, and I beat him a couple of times out of just sheer fucking luck, because most of the time it was like he was probably going easy on me too, because like he wasn't really going super hard or anything, but like it was legit. I was like, god damn, this guy's fucking ridiculously good. So you have like really cool encounters with that. And then you've got like, there's like fucking five dwarves running around throwing rocks at people. You know, it's stuff like that. It's beautiful, and
You're just having like ridiculous.
if you get a group
fun.
of people together big enough, you can like straight up be like, all right, we're gonna like role play like a fucking battalion of dwarves or a battalion of X and X, like whatever, something like that. You know, we'll be like a little crew, and running together, you can help each other out. But like, oh my god, it's just, like, it's so fun. It's a very fun game. You die a lot. Which, if you get mad at dying a lot, you probably shouldn't play it, because it's gonna happen. When you play that game, you will die a lot continuously. You will feel like ass when it be like that. You know what I mean? There's not much you can really do to.
You'll just get better, like as time goes on.
Yeah.
That's just the
get
deal.
fucking better, bro. Like get good.
Get good, son.
Get good. Exactly. I started playing Game Deck. Pele.
Oh yeah, I needed to start.
Pele
that,
gifted that to me, I think. Or was it you, Amani? No, it was Pele.
It was Pele.
Pele gifted that to me. I genuinely have no idea what this is. I've never even heard of this game until like right now. But I know
It plays
Oh,
a
yeah, no,
little
I've
bit.
been-
I know that
yeah,
it's
it plays a little bit like
yeah, I know.
Distillation.
I was playing it earlier, like the whole. I created a character and I played the first couple of missions, and I was like, oh, like it's got like the cyberpunk feel to it, like the RP, like the role playing to it. And I love like role playing whenever like games give me the ability to like hardcore do it. So I've been very much enjoying playing that for a bit. I've only played like an hour and a half, I think 2 hours, but I haven't had a lot of time to play a lot of other games necessarily. We've been playing some Fortnite. We got the Aaron Yeager ODM gear. What are y'all's opinion of the ODM gear?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been fun.
It's been
I
hella
really
fun,
like it
yeah.
So far, so it's like,
Mhm.
it's a shame that it has such good swing.
Yeah, right? That's what I was
It is a
thinking. I'm like,
shame.
bro, I want this in like an actual like, you know, like I want this to be like, you know, it's
Like
just a
another
game,
Attack on
you
Titan
know?
thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's really good. It's like really good swinging.
Yeah, we
It's the same
tried
with
the
Spider-Man
yeah.
swinging. It's
Yeah.
better than not Insomniac, but like
Yeah,
the
Sonic is
Avengers game,
Yeah.
which was kind of sad to look at
Jeez.
because it was like, wow.
I mean,
well, they did this as an
it
event.
doesn't necessarily
but,
surprise me that it's better.
no, but that was the main thing that people like. Well, that's part of the reason why the ODM gear is so
Yeah.
good, because it uses the exact same system as the Spider-Man
Yeah.
swinging, and then they just ported it over with the gear. but it's like you look at it and go like, damn, that's way better than like fucking anything that was in that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marvel's Avengers didn't try hard enough. I didn't expect it to, but like, I also didn't expect Fortnite to.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
Fortnite actually
Like
gave
Epic
gave
out
a
here
damn,
flexing
man.
the fact that they can make good ass games potentially, and then they just put it in Fortnite.
yeah, honestly, yes.
Yeah.
They're like, we could make something really interesting with this, but
Fortnite.
it's a
Nah,
Fortnite thing.
Epic is just gonna rest on its laurels and its own store and the Fortnite money, just like
Do
Valve
they
does
need
with
to
their
do
shit.
anything else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just gonna rest on their laurels
And like,
forever.
as far as games go, I think it's kind of like I haven't really been playing like a wide variety, like a drastic variety of games recently. Unfortunately.
You didn't talk about the Thunder Spears. There's
Oh
also
yeah, Thunder Spears
from-
are there. They're kind of ass. They're probably better for like
A little ass.
building, like if you're in build mode or anything. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it probably does
Completely,
tear
you know,
down
based on
stuff.
the game that I played. I've been playing Bloons a lot, as always, obviously. But specifically for all you my beautiful dart monkeys out there, they added a new monkey to the game, a new tower. It's called the Beast Handler, pretty recently, and that motherfucker is OP. That motherfucker is strong. So he works really differently though, which I like. He adds like a little bit of like actual thought to the game whenever you're putting stuff down, because his basic attack sucks dick. He only swings his little staff and he sucks, but he can summon three, like 2 of 3 depending on how you upgrade it, but one like really good creature. He's got a choice between he starts off with a piranha, a little microraptor, and a little eagle, like a small bird, like a hawk or something. And then those level up to a megalodon, a gigantosaurus, and a fucking, I don't want to fuck this word up, but like Ptuaki. It's a fucking thunderbird. I know it's probably like I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. I don't want to fuck it up, but it's like this big ass fucking like mythological ass bird. And
Spell
so
it?
you hold on, like, give me a second. I'm looking it up right now. Like I should look up like the phonetic pronunciation. But he can summon those, so you can place down one, and then once you level that one up, you can place down another beast handler. And like if you like, let's say you put down a microraptor and you level up to a like the velociraptor or whatever the fuck, right, the middle one. So you can put down another one and put down like a velociraptor and merge those two together. So in order to acquire the final evolution, it's really expensive because it's really good, but you have to have 4 separate of the beast handlers that are leveled up to at least 4 of the other one, right? So they have to be 4, and then that way one of them can level up to the final evolution. So it's kind of hard to get to because you have to spend like the T-Rex, you have to get 4 T-Rexes, and they're each like 10k, a little bit over 10k. So it's like 40k, maybe a little bit more, like 42,000, something like that total. And then from there, you have to spend 75k to get the fucking Gigantosaur. So like they're very expensive, but holy shit! Like the megalodon yeets itself out of the water and just latches onto the Moabs and just starts just fucking gnawing on it like a fucking animal, bro.
It pulls.
Yeah,
it
it pulls them into the water and then it destroys them immediately. Like it can grab a. I think if it's fully leveled up, you can grab like a purple Moab, one of the big ones, and like drag it into the water and just kill it. And I was like, oh my fucking god, Jesus. It's
like, God.
Okay. So yeah, the final one is the Gryphalcon, the horned owl, the golden eagle, the giant condor, and the Puakai. The Puakai. Poua with like a line over the A. I don't know what that's called. And Kai. The legendary Puakai, a bird so large that it can pick up and carry off and destroy almost any number of balloons. Like all of them are so good because the bird's final evolution takes the Moabs and drags them back. The shark slows them down and drags them to kill them. And then the T-Rex just does so much fucking DPS. Holy shit.
Absolute
Just destruction. And its ability stuns almost every kind of balloon. So you can pop that and it'll stun things there, and the other two will just start. It's so good. It is really fun. But you have to like have multiple of the same kind. because they need to like they have a certain amount of like numbers at the bottom, and even if you max it out, it still is only like halfway full, and then from there you can put down more beast handlers of the same like T-Rex and like level them up, and it will become like fully evolved, and it like its spikes will shoot out and it'll glow and it'll look like fucking Godzilla. It'll look fucking cool as shit. And like so they have a max level, and then they have a max level where they're full power, when they're full power. So when you level them, you still have to level, like you have to get them up more higher power. Like the bird, I think it's like fucking like thunder looking, looks really fucking cool and shit. And then I know the Gigantosaur, like it has spikes on it, and they poke out and they glow blue, and he looks all fucking just scary as shit, you know. But really cool, really cool. Sorry, that was my Bloons Tower Defense 6 rant. Cool ass. He's gonna get nerfed. I'm telling you, that monkey's he's gonna get nerfed.
It's too strong.
He's pretty fucking strong. They can solo. Like, pretty sure the bird can solo the game. I watched a video the other day. But yeah. So as far as games go, I kind of been doing that. Played a little bit of Minecraft. You know, just gotta be like that. And I've been watching some interesting anime. Actually, I finished watching My Love Story, which if you like a good romance anime,
I got something.
Beautiful, okay, amazing, fucking amazing ass anime. Brief synopsis: the main character's name is Takeo, who is a fucking behemoth of an individual. He is starting high school. This is his first year of high school, and he is 2 meters tall, which for Americans and everybody that doesn't use the metric system is 6'6" and almost 6'7". All right, and he's a freshman in high school. Okay.
He can only get bigger.
Okay. And people are super afraid of him, and like a lot of people think he's scary, but he's like a fucking teddy bear. He's he's a super nice, genuinely nice human being. He's just built different. Like, he's a fucking physically gifted human being. And he's also like ridiculously athletic. Like, he's insanely good at everything. Like, you know, like he's insane. Except cooking. He can't cook. At least not bake. But he saves this girl from being like, there's a dude on the train that are doing like taking the photos underneath like the upskirt shots of girls in Japan. It's like a whole fucking issue. And he sees this dude doing it to this really cute girl on the bus, and like he fucking doesn't beat the shit out of the guy, but he basically scares the fuck out of him and takes his phone and like forces him to delete it and like everything. And they end up like talking, and they end up falling in love. And the whole thing is, he's this behemoth, scary looking motherfucker, and she's this cute, like kind of dainty, really sweet, like adorable, okay, like adorable ass, like, you know, girl. They're both freshmen. She goes to an all girls school. He goes to like a public one or whatever. And it's their relationship, and it's really cool because her friends like have that whole actual arc of, wow, you're dating this fucking actual gorilla. Like, this dude's a fucking animal. What is wrong with you? And it actually is realistic in the sense of like, oh wait, he's a person. That's right. And then like it's a really wholesome anime. A 10 out of 10 do recommend it. You can find clips of it on YouTube if you want to see a few things. I'd recommend you watch a little bit in case. It is fun because it's got that love thing going on. There's no love triangle. Let me make that very clear. None of that shit. There's none of that. There's two people that care about each other deeply. Takeo has a friend named Suna. Suna's an ultra OG Giga Chad homie.
He the
homie, bro. He the homie. He's like that very, you know, the whole dynamic they have is Suna is like a normal height, very traditionally attractive Japanese guy with like the blonde hair. He's really attractive, and girls like fucking fawn over him and throw themselves at his feet. And he's like, you know, like the fucking pathetic meme, like with the duck. That's him to those women. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. You know, I'm not good. And then like the thing is, they always talk shit about his friend Takeo, and he's like, all right, fuck you. I'm not fucking with you. Get that shit out of here.
He was like, maybe at one point you could have had something, but now it's definitely not happening.
That's my main man. How the fuck?
And he's a total fucking introvert who only likes to read, but Takeo like drags him out everywhere, and he's a really cool. He's not like an actual asshole. He's a really nice guy. He just likes to be home and chilling. You know, he's just chill. So it's kind of like all their stories that he's a main character too, but it's mostly just the two of them. But it's it has a lot of really sweet stories that I think good anime. If you watch it on YouTube, don't be afraid of like major crazy spoilers, because I watched a fuckload of clips and they were only from like the first 3 or 4 episodes. So like there's plenty later on that like it's very likely you're not gonna see in the clips. But I want to show y'all a scene real quick. I want to get y'all's reaction. We don't usually do this, but I want to show. I showed Amani this.
Oh yeah. No,
I gotta show Leon too, because like it's so fucking funny.
All right.
I
remember seeing clips of this anime in high school. I think when it was.
Yeah, dude, it came out in 2015, dog.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hold up.
So as we look for
let me
this
get to this
context, just for those that need to know.
So for those of you that don't,
Aaron.
okay, wait, where'd it go? Where is it? Okay, it should be like right here. Well, sorry, Monty, continue.
Yeah, no. Give them context for this.
Okay, so, for context, this girl with the pink hair is Suna's sister, is Takeo's friend that I was talking about earlier, and she, like, Suna's older sister, by the way. They're both like, him and Takeo are the same age. She's like 2 years older, like 2-3 years older, something like that. I think 4, because I think she's already graduated high school. So I think she's graduated, but she has like a humongous crush on Takeo. She's had a crush on him since they were since he was like started hanging out with Suna when they were like in elementary school, and she's had a crush on him for so long. And she, to be fair, is not creepy. I want to make it out. It is one of those weird Japanese things. Okay, it is, but she doesn't do anything with him. She never tried to do anything with him. She literally was, up until she found out that he got a girlfriend, was waiting for him to like graduate high school to fucking, in her mind, swoop in and fucking take him away from anybody that would potentially want him, because she fucking and because he doesn't.
She was like, when he becomes legal,
like as soon as he gets out, she was gonna swoop in, because in her mind, like, women aren't very traditionally attracted to him. In the show, it's very clear that girls aren't usually very attracted to him. But like, it's very clear that the women that are very attracted to him like him a lot, is also the thing, right? Like the women that are like, they're women, right? They're not thinking like girls. That's what I watched this with my girlfriend, by the way, which was fucking amazing. Watching it with her was amazing. But like, I was like, this is like woman mentality. She's like, that dude's built different, dude. Like he's built different. And like, so she is low key very jealous of the girl that Takeo is dating, obviously. But at the same time, she realized healthily that it happened, and she realizes that the girl that Takeo is dating now, the Yamato, is fucking precious, like a precious angel that we must protect from this world, this cruel fucking world. Okay, she is like the sweetest, most like genuinely kind thing ever, and she's like, damn, she's actually really good for him. Fuck, I can't take him away. So this scene is her like giving her like advice. And sorry, I didn't mean to hit that shit. And the idea is she's trying to get a way to break through to Takeo, because he's like kind of dense, and he's not very horny, let's say. Oh, watch this.
Let's just say he's not
very horny. And the girl, Yamato, she in fact is very horny, actually, as it turns out. She is. She wants to do lewd things like hold hands and kiss, shit like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes. And she doesn't know how to break it to him.
Degenerate you.
She doesn't know how to get through to him that she wants that. And the girl's like, just tell him, just do it, just do it, because it'll get through to him, because he's not gonna get a hint, So she's trying to get, like,
he's never done this before.
Yeah, she's trying to get advice.
It's not gonna work.
And then this is her saying thank you.
Oh right. Right.
By the way, up until this point,
I remember
this hasn't happened, like, ever. She's running away from them, takes like 5 steps, is like kind of taking a light jog, and just face plants into the ground,
Eat shit.
and then immediately
For
gets
no
back
reason.
up and just walks away. It is so fucking funny. This show has so much shitpost potential from like frames and shit, like the faces and everything. There's so much of it that is just pure shitpost potential. It's hilarious.
I remember that moment.
Oh my god, there's a scene where Takeo technically assaults Suna because he needs to practice kissing, and he's like, don't worry, I have plastic wrap, and he puts plastic wrap on his face and kisses him. And like, it's not brought up at all for the entirety of the season up until like the last 3 episodes. There's a part where she's like, have you ever kissed anybody, Suna? And it just cuts to him black and white with like that image in the back of his head kind of thing, and it's so fucking funny.
It's like, technically.
I don't want to talk about it. He literally goes, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But 10 out of 10, recommend this anime. It's very wholesome, very well written. It's also got a lot of unexpectedly like funny shit, as we were saying, but it's very
Like that clip, for
Yeah.
instance, perfectly. Like, there's no
zero
context
context
for,
at
like,
all.
her
Just
falling
face
at all.
planting, eating absolute shit. She doesn't trip over anything. She just fucking
It's a flat plane.
eats shit, like falls. And then we finished watching
Somehow,
that.
some way.
We found out there's a live action adaptation of that, right? There's a live action
Not
movie.
surprised on that
And
one.
it actually looks decent because the homie they got for fucking Takeo actually looks like him. Hold on, let me show you, Leon.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, they're doing
I
it.
don't-
It's really close. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
as
the
best
thing
as
is,
they
it's
could
a
do.
romance slice of life.
Like, this isn't
anime,
that
so,
hard
like,
because
it
it's
should
yeah,
be
exactly.
easier.
How do you fuck
Yeah.
up a romance anime,
Yeah, romance.
right? But look at him.
He's
He's
doing
doing
his
his best,
best.
but they got a tall. They got the size. The sizes are at least comparable. Like, he is an absolute
Yeah.
unit of a man, but it's a realistic unit of a man. It's not
Yeah.
2 meters, man. 2
That's
meters. He's
bombastic.
not a.
Yeah.
That's
He's
huge.
not a JoJo character. This is what I mean by shitpost potential. Look at this face. His faces are like some of the best things ever, bro. Their fucking face. It's so great.
Look at his.
Oh, speaking of which, there's a Giga Chad one right there. Just doing the Giga Chad one.
His
right
dad.
at the bottom.
Takeo's dad is literally Chad. Hold up. My love story. Takeo dad. Look at him! Look at this Chad, dude. He's like,
Is it weird that they kind of like?
These
it
are-
looks like they did like a
these
real,
are his,
like it's an
these are
anime
his parents.
real person
These are his
kind of.
parents. This is his mom. I love her curly hair, like the fucking the widow's peak. I love it. And then her dad is like this tan, tall, like gig Chad looking like Japanese guy. It's so fucking funny.
Stupid. It's kind of perfect though.
It fits.
It's
It
so
fits.
fucking funny. Like it's great. It's pretty amazing. 10 out of 10.
I like how he got his mom's.
Yeah,
voice.
he's like a perfect 50-50 of his mom and his dad. He's got like his mom's lips and like
Yeah.
he's got the widow's peak, and he's got the hair that's a little curlier than his dad's hair, but not as curly as his mom's, you know? And like his mom is like one of those women that's like built like fucking the Viking women were back in the
She's
day,
also
you know?
built different.
Where like she's like 9 months pregnant, about to give birth, and she's over here cleaning the house and vacuuming and lifting the fucking sofa and like underneath and all that shit. And they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" Like, I was doing this up until I had you. It's fine. I had to carry. Literally at one point, it's like I had to carry this other lady into the fucking hospital after my water broke because she was having a panic attack. This is literally nothing. We're good. It's like.
that is some
It's like, oh my gosh, she
Wow.
like, you know, and like they actually have like another another baby. They have Takeo has a little baby sister in the show. It's really sweet.
She will also be built different.
It's a big ass
at some
baby.
point.
He weighed like 7.7 thousand grams, which is like it's I think if I'm not mistaken was like 10 pounds, something like that. Or like a little bit over 10 pounds. I think it was like 12 pounds. And then she weighed like 10 pounds. So those are big ass babies. You know what I mean? Those are some.
Those are big
This
babies.
is like
big-ass babies,
he
yeah.
leans down. He's like, "Oh, she's so small," and so, like his friend is beside him. He's like, she's like twice. She's like
Small?
twice the size of every other baby here, bro."
Like, what do you mean?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Just the idea of that. It's like so tiny. This is tiny.
How in the hell?
What is this? Have you seen a tiny baby?
But yeah, there's a live action movie, and like I really want to watch it because it looks like they put genuine effort into it. Like the actor they chose to play him is great. The girl they chose to play her, she doesn't have pink hair, but you know, that just signifies main character. You know, usually, so it's okay.
It is rare when a live action adaptation of anime actually keeps it image for image correct.
I feel like this just
including
looks
hair
more
color.
realistic. It would take it out of you to see her with a
It
pink,
does.
pink fucking, you know, like hair.
Nah, just dye it. Dye
Yeah,
it
but
hair.
you know how Japan is?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your hair looks different.
Wear
We'll
a
fucking bully you until you fucking kill yourself. Sorry, Japanese people out there that might be offended by that.
It's really
This is kinda
strange
how it
because
is.
they love.
Also,
I mean, like,
look at the size of both of her hands versus just his hand, by the way. I want to point this out.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I saw that one.
Like,
engulfs her
engulfs her
entire arms.
fucking, both of her arms.
Like her
bro.
wrists, or both of her arms, her wrists, like down to like her forearm is like kind of gone. Halfway through her forearm is gone.
Yeah. The actual manga, the covers are fucking awesome. Like, some of them are really funny. Oh, I didn't want to click in on the whole thing. I just wanted to see the individual ones. I'm sad. But watching that, and then I've also been watching something that I never thought I'd ever watch in my life, but it's actually been like not horrible so far. Yuri on Ice. I've been watching.
yeah,
I've been watching that. Mappa fucking Studios, man, they know how to fucking rotoscope. Let me
Yep.
tell you something, man. Those
One
animations,
thing they know how to
those
do. is
animations,
animate.
very gay, mind you. I will warn people out there. I don't know if everyone is aware. Leon, you're aware of the exclamation point rating system for manga and anime.
Yes.
Okay, I explained it to Amani. Paley, I don't know if you're aware, but in anime, if there's an exclamation point, typically that signifies how gay that anime is. Or manga, okay? Specifically.
Not even, like,
One
explicitly,
exclamation point,
just how
you
gay.
probably don't have to be worried about it being actually anything. It probably just is part of the title.
I've read
Right.
a triple.
You know, but you get 2 exclamation points, you get that, okay, this is gonna be a little gay. This is gonna be a little gay.
Wait. I gotta ask, because I never actually bothered to look. How many does Boku no
Boku no
Pico
Pico. Oh, fucking
A lot, I think.
have? A lot.
Boku no
Because I never checked
Pico.
this.
Why didn't it give me...
Oh, you're researching.
I'm looking it up right
Yeah,
now.
no, we gotta find this out.
Boku no... Does Crunchyroll not have Boku no Pico?
No,
Probably not.
They
No.
would not. No.
Probably
I'm
not.
You would have to go to an off-brand site.
Boku no Pico.
I don't think.
I would
wait,
assume they would do
it
their best
doesn't.
to not.
I don't think it does it.
Doesn't have any?
No.
Weird.
Boku no Pico.
I guess it only applies to like normal anime.
It might be
Oh,
after...
God.
No, this is actually just straight up porn, though. Like,
Yeah, no, I understand.
isn't Boku no Pico like actually hentai? Like an actual H? It is, okay.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I
The
guess
world's
so.
first Shotokan anime? That's legendary. I didn't know that.
Wait, I didn't
Holy
know
shit.
that.
I didn't
What a
know that either.
fucking
I didn't
legend.
know it was the first one.
Yo, shout out to Boku no Pico.
That
You
shit's
spawned
No,
you spawned
don't
a
shout out to
Are
that,
we
no.
really? No, we should
you
not.
spawned an
shout out
S
to
tier
Yeah,
genre, bro.
okay,
Let me tell you.
That's not necessary. No.
We might know
All
the
right.
new title for this episode. We might have the title for this
All right.
episode.
Shout out to
Sorry
Boku
about
Pico.
that. Yes. But yeah, Yuri on Ice. Pretty actually, like the story's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's got some weird shit, you know, like very questionable things here and there that I'm like, you know, but it's not bad. It's not like forced or anything. The actual animation is really good. Like the actual skating, like when they're out there doing their routines, is fucking impressive. Like how they do that.
The opening song is, I remember.
Dude, the fucking opening song is actually very catchy.
Yeah.
I had the fucking intro for my love story stuck in my head. You're scared. Ah! I had it for like 3 days. But yeah, I'm like 8 episodes in, like 9 episodes in, I think. And I'm actually like surprised because it's like I heard about this show when it came out years ago. Like I remember all my female friends that were in the anime were fucking obsessed over it.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
Yes.
like of course, right? But like I was like, she was like, do you want to watch something that like I want to show you an anime that I think you'll like, but like I don't think you'd ever watch if you were just sitting there choosing anime. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And she was like that, and I'm like, I don't know, you know. And she's right.
She knew what
I
she was
wouldn't.
doing.
She's like, she's right. I wouldn't choose to watch it out of my own volition, but actually going and sitting down and watching it, it's not bad. It's like it's all right.
Admittedly, I'm not too interested in the ice skating anime by default.
You know,
then
like
also
I-
we've all heard things by default about that anime. Just being like, hey, you know what?
That's-
Maybe not my
I mean, that's
type of
you're
tea,
you know,
right?
it,
But apparently it's good.
like
Well, not apparently.
like
We
it's
kinda
a good
knew it was
anime.
good, it's just
you
not
know,
our
it's just
usual
it's not
cup
like
of-
something
yeah, it's not our
I
cup
you
of
know
tea.
I would choose to watch.
We don't
necessarily.
actively
search
choose
it out,
normally.
Like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm very open to watching like a lot of different kinds. Like I'm watching Asobi Asobas right now. All right, like that's like literally it's out of left field fucking anime that doesn't like make any sense with my me as like, oh yeah, you're a dude, you know. But
Oh yeah, but like, isn't that one's the one where it's written by the
Those-
well, no, it's drawn by like the
yeah, the
horror,
guy that the
right?
fucking ones with the
Farmers is-
three,
yeah.
yeah.
Slice of life by horror.
My favorite thing was watching the first episode with Imani. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. We were watching the first episode of Asobi, and the intro is like the three of them singing this really like kind of innocent, you know, coming of age, you know, young girl song. And Imani was like, I was really expecting this to be like death metal or something. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I feel like you're not wrong. Intro hits. That's where it went. the outro hits and it's like just death metal and it's like, oh, this should go hard, but yeah, this is the vibe I was expecting. More really. But you know, if you're into that kind of thing, Yuri on Ice is actually, I don't think it's surprising, but yeah, it's pretty good. You know, Mappa kicked that out of the park with the animation. Some of it's a little janky, but it is old. You know, so some of it's not the
It is
best,
very
but
old.
it's like it still holds up pretty well, all things considered.
I think the closest I've ever seen of an anime like that had like very, you know, homoerotic connotations and all that such. Probably the closest I think was Hetalia.
Hetalia, yeah.
Yeah, Italia's fun though. I like
Italia's fun, but yeah,
There's a
It's
lot.
told
There's
history
a
to a
lot
very
more.
weird
It's
lens.
just again,
It's
it's a
fun.
genre that we probably don't look into very much.
No, yeah, for sure, no, for sure.
But like, it's kind of funny, like the overt homosexuality in some of the scenes. I was like, oh my, like I was like, oh my goodness, they had fun.
You're like,
They
oh,
had
it's
fun. They had
okay.
fun animating this. Interesting. Somebody was horny.
Yeah.
Like you can tell.
I mean, I've seen the Animan Studio meme videos. I'm sure you know what that is,
Yeah.
Aaron.
But like,
Yeah,
We
so
do.
as far as that goes,
Hmm?
like that'd be it for me. Sorry that took up a lot, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, that'd be kind of it for me. I need to go watch John Wick still. This week,
Yes, you do.
This is when I'm going to go
Yes.
do it. I just haven't had a lot of time, but hopefully going to go this week. Go watch the fuck out of that. And yeah, sorry. Who's next?
No, you're good. There's no need to apologize.
No,
It's
I just
funny.
looked at the time and I'm like,
Lot of
damn, we talked
movies.
for like a minute about all that shit. But yeah, anime. I thought Leon would appreciate the fellow.
I do appreciate
the,
it.
Of course
the
he
fellow
will.
weeb, the resident weeb.
I
Resident
accept
weeb.
the notoriety.
Notoriety.
Yes. But,
he takes the label like a champ.
Speaking of Resident Evil, Leon,
yeah.
what you been checking out?
What I've been checking out. Let's see.
Hit us.
The gaming wise, nothing much. I haven't really been doing.
Final Fantasy 14 as usual,
Basically,
As always.
yeah.
and the bitch still hasn't caught up in Monster Hunter.
I'm planning to. Shut the fuck up.
It sounds like you're slacking. That's what it sounds
Honest to
like.
God. I was-
Hey! I'll keep bringing it up until you actually do it.
Okay.
That's
All right.
facts. You know what? I'm gonna bring it up too. We're gonna put a counter.
Okay. But Final Fantasy, I'm not gonna go long about that.
You don't have to.
Only thing I'm gonna say is that I unlocked a new class. I've now gotten the final tank that I haven't done, which is Warrior. And Warrior is essentially the quote-unquote best tank you could possibly play for a beginner.
You know what? It
Really
makes
easy.
total sense that you would unlock the tank last. Would literally never play a tank. It's just
Yeah.
not you.
No, he's a DPS. Now he knows how to feel. Now he finally knows how it feels to be a dumb fucking horse
Total
in the
opposite.
game.
No, I've done tanks. The first tank.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
unlocked-
you just unlocked the last tank, but
Yeah,
like
the last
I'm
one.
thinking about it, and I'm like, of course the tank is like the tank are the last classes you unlock.
No. I haven't touched. Range, physical, mat casters. Or
Really not a
healers.
bow. Didn't unlock or a caster. You know,
Or
it's-
caster.
Question, Leon: how many times have support classes or teammates hated your ass or keep dying? I wonder.
For what?
As a DPS, because
DPS?
not
I do
tanking.
pretty well. I do pretty well.
Okay, you
As a-
do
as
pretty
a
well to
DPS.
stay alive. That's good.
I can stay alive pretty decently unless
He's not a Genji player.
no.
Need healing.
like unless there was some sort of like mechanic that I wasn't
Me
aware of, or I just took a while. for
Me
to
with
do,
well
which
over
I'm not-
500 hours, like 300 hours, I think, on Roadhog.
I'm fine.
I never knew what it was like that. Need healing.
Mhm.
Either I was dead or I could heal myself. That's how it went usually.
Mhm. But warrior is essentially
Yeah.
the angry boy of the tanks.
Yeah.
He's too angry to die.
Based.
And it's literally the fact he's too angry to die. He has self sufficiency, and he could solo most content in the game.
Nice.
So
This is an OP class probably.
essentially, like, what is it? One of the fun combos you can possibly do there is use this ability called Home Gang, which is essentially your invincibility moment, and you can drop down to 1 HP and not die for 10 seconds. If you pop that, then pop this ability called Bloodwetting. You heal all your HP back up, and then you get to just stay alive after all that. So this is little fun things you can do. After that, reading wise, I finished reading that one manga with the cute child, Son's so cute that it can't be helped, and it has finally ended. It has brought up its final chapter, and it is sad because it's just so wholesome. It's way too wholesome for it to end, though it has brought up some possibilities for a sequel for what it was shown, but I know I'm just kind of upset. It was a good run. Art's always amazing. Characters are great. It's really wholesome. Check it out, please. It's finished. It's 220 chapters, so read it over time when you want to. So check it out. Other reading wise, nothing much has been going on for me. Nothing real manga wise or anything like that. Anime wise, I found out that Hell's Paradise has gotten an anime adaptation, and I checked it out. It's pretty fucking good. It's
Oh,
pretty
you know,
good.
it's pretty sick. I checked
Yeah.
that out too. It's
Yeah.
actually on my list.
It's done by Studio Nappa as well, of course.
Studio Map will be out here.
Yeah, they be out here. This one is about a infamous assassin, a ninja named Gabimaru, and he is known as Gabimaru the Hollow because he's basically just he just kills without relentlessness, has no mercy in anything. But however, he's been captured by the government, and he's now been sentenced to death on death row now. And you know he's going to get executed. He goes to get his head chopped off, and the sword breaks. It just doesn't work. It's like he's immortal almost. They put him with sticks and everything, try to burn his ass. Doesn't work either. It just doesn't work. Boil him in oil. He walks out of it. Try and split him in half by the groin by having two bulls strapped to him and running different directions. The bulls get yanked back, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. But then this special executioner comes up. I forget her name, but she is able to cut and instill fear into Gabimaru and show actual threat to him. However, what is shown is actually that he does have a reason why this has been happening, and it's because he wants to live. He thought that he didn't want to. He thought that he just dying would be the best way to go since he's the Hollow. But no, he wants to live for the person that he has grown a connection with and has a tie to life, which is his wife. His wife has shown so many different things of just life in general for him since he was just born to be an assassin and just gung-ho having to kill and be on a mission every single day, nothing to do. And so he wants to hold on to that life and take grasp of it if possible. But there's no way. His village is kind of turned on him. But the lady, the executioner, gives him an option to go to this forbidden land to gather the elixir of life and possibly reclaim his freedom. And so that's where the story goes. And the animation is fucking flawless. It is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say this is probably the new hotness.
Good. It is going to be the new hotness.
People are
100%.
going to be shouting about that. I can feel it. I'm going to make that call for it right now. It's
Yes.
like, this is probably going to be the thing people are going to be talking about for a good minute.
It is. And there's just certain scenes in here, too, that you're just going to be like, oh, yo, why do they have to go so hard on this? There's just one specific scene at the end of the episode where he shows some little flashiness with his ability, what he can do. And he just shows off a little bit. And
Look,
it's
man,
so
Map of
sick.
Flames be also going really hard.
Yeah.
The best thing I can describe with that. Map
it's
of
so
Flames
sick. Mhm.
go really hard.
They do. It's fantastic. Check it out. Amazing story. This is also from the perspective of a manga reader. You're not going to be disappointed with it. Check it out.
Ouch.
Go gung ho. There's
It's pretty
only
fire.
3 episodes right now for this
Yeah.
one.
There's a total of 3 episodes.
So go ahead. You're going to catch up immediately and get hooked. I promise you.
It's also being simulcasted, so
It is simultaneous casting.
they're
So you're not
doing
going
the
to be.
dub.
You have to worry about.
The dub's
any
only on episode
spoilers.
1, but
yes.
you know, you'll only be like what 2 episodes behind.
No, you immediately be caught up. Essentially, it's going to be taken. It's going
The
to
dub's
be.
not out for the other 2 yet.
Really?
Yeah. There's only have episode 1 out, so it's gonna be like 2. If you watch the dub, it will be 2 episodes behind.
Oh, okay. I've been reading.
I watched the
some-
first episode with the dub, and it was actually pretty good. Like,
I haven't heard the dub yet. I'll check.
pretty
that one
good.
out.
I gotta check who's playing everybody, but I mean, we've kind of gotten past those days where it's like the dub for a lot of stuff is bad.
True.
For like, yeah, like it's not really a thing as much anymore because
Mhm.
anime is kind of popular, so they put effort into it. They don't have to be like, whatever.
It's not like fan made or some like janky thing. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because anime's become such more of a mainstream thing. It's not really kind of like.
Yeah, that people enjoy it and they actually put like budget into it. They're like, we
Mhm,
should probably put some like people that really know what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, check that out. Hell's Paradise, fantastic. The second thing, funny enough, I talked about this last podcast. It's it's the manga that's about the working for a god in a godless world. That one has an anime out as well, so if you don't want to read it, watch it.
Well, there you go.
And what'd you say, Monty?
I said, well, there we go.
Yeah. It's weird. It costs it. So I won't go full synopsis about it, but the anime itself, it's kind of hilarious. It does have its comedy. It is a comedy. Isekai comedy. There are fourth wall breaking moments that kind of caught me off guard. There was one moment specifically that is just like, wait a sec, what the hell is happening? Oh, yo, wait a minute, that's what's happening. Because what is it? Our main character, Yukito, he drowns. He doesn't get hit by a truck. He drowns in a barrel because his father is insane and powerful cult. And he
know how
wakes
cults
up.
go.
Yeah, and he wakes up into another world, naked, and there's this lady in front of him, and what you see is just essentially her touching him, just to like see what the heck's going on, reading a book. And then she immediately begins to mess with him, and it had a double take on that, and it's like, what the fuck, what the hell, and it's played off for comedy after that. So if you don't mind some, degeneracy and some neat little semi-dark tones and some, cutesy, funny stuff, check it out. It's bombastic. It goes bombastic with certain things. Some of it's just would be weird upon the comedy moments. But yeah, check it out. Give it a shot. And if you want more of a intel of the anime is about, please go right ahead and check out the previous podcast episode.
Oh yeah.
And
Successful
then,
business of a cult.
yeah. And then the third anime that I was also surprised about, I didn't know they had an anime adaptation coming out for, was a manga that I was talking about, I want to say like 20, maybe 50 episodes ago. One of those fucking dumbass, bombastic ass names. Where are you at? There's the link for it. So I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. Yay paragraphs.
Yay paragraphs for Tyler.
Monty knows how much I love those.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
We have to read before actually reading.
Yes.
Glad I got the entire synopsis of that.
The second one's down here too, but this one is, since it's been a while, I'll give this one. This one's about Yuya. He's essentially this overweight middle schooler, or he's graduated middle schooler, who was bullied, and he is being neglected by his parents as well. His parents doesn't really show any affection towards him. His siblings don't do anything as well. And his life is just kind of shit. No one really gives him attention. No one really helps him. However, it's shown that he still has a good heart. He still shows that he has a good look on the world. He even goes out his way to try and help out a girl who's being harassed by some other guys. Doesn't go out in his favor. He doesn't be the victorious badass or anything. He gets his ass beaten, and then police come up and help him out. But he continues to do his things. He graduates middle school. He goes into high school. But nothing is just going up for him. The only person that actually loved him was his grandfather. However, his grandfather passed away. And
Itadori.
Yeah. And his grandfather actually left him his house and some other wealth for him, and his parents tried to get in onto that, but his father made sure it's tight knit. No one else can get it but for him. And due to that, he's now living into his grandfather's house because his parents has kicked him out. And for everything that has happened, going into high school, nothing is changing. He's just utterly depressed, and he, goes on a little tantrum, punching a mirror, and goes from there. He then unlocks this room that leads into another world. Oh my god.
It's Narnia!
Yes. It's like, but as the title says, he is now unrivaled in the real world. He can go back and forth, which is a little different between most isekais, where, Truck-kun, water, or, I don't know, something comes out of nowhere.
So technically
speaking, out someone.
It's not an isekai. It's Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, yes, essentially.
It's Inuyasha.
Mm-hmm.
Code
Lyoko. Yeah, it could be that as well. But he gets
Homer
powers.
Just hops in and out of the well at this point.
Essentially, but this time it's a door. I think it's an actual door.
It's literally Narnia.
Literally Narnia.
Except, unlike the characters in Narnia, they didn't come back cracked. They still remained like with the skills that they had. I just don't. Aaron, you would know this because I feel like you've read Narnia. Do they have? They don't ever gain any magic in Narnia or anything like that. They just have the sword skills that they had, right? And
they have their stuff is magical, but they don't have magic.
They themselves
have
never
no
gained
magic.
magic.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they just come back and they're like, I know how to use a sword and a bow really well now.
The thing about it, it's actually really fucked up in Narnia. Like, the thing is, like, they all, like the older they get, they forget more and more about it.
Yeah, they slowly lose their memory, so it just disappears.
Oof, that's
Yeah, at some point they
like
lost
like
the skill.
the oldest sister, she
Forgot
completely
everything.
refused, like completely forgot about everything about Narnia, like all of it completely. And it's
But that's also the ironic part, because in the end of the series, again, spoilers for Chronicles of Narnia, the series has been around for a very long time.
I don't think we have to worry about spoilers for Chronicles Narnia.
Yeah. So the three
How
of
could
the
you,
siblings,
my God.
the three of the siblings, I guess, sent to Narnia one final time, but not in the way you think through the wardrobe. It's
and
through train
Mary
crash.
is literally told by Mary is literally told by Aslan, you will never set foot
Return
to Narnia.
The human world again.
No, she's like, no, you will never set foot in Narnia again. Like they're told, and there's at one point in the books that they're told that the oldest two will never enter Narnia again via the wardrobe. Is the thing that they're told.
Peter does go back though.
Peter
That's the
does in
thing.
the back, but it's not through the wardrobe. It's I'm trying to remember.
Mhm.
It was
Through the train.
Yeah, it was a
It's a train crash.
Crash, yeah.
So like they died and just ended.
They
up
died and got sent to Narnia. So
yeah, but either way, it wasn't.
C.S. Lewis.
It was a whole.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
It's not through the wardrobe anymore. Like
No,
they can't
yeah.
do it.
The Lion Witch in the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very different story at that point.
I mean, by that point, they were a lot older, and it's like the like World War, like there's a lot of
World War II.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last book is actually very trippy. The last book of that series is trippy.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about
Well,
that.
C.S. Lewis was a really big religious fan, so he
For those
based
of you
off
that
a lot
don't
of his work
know,
both on
fun
religious
fact:
and
C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, both very good friends, they had a
Good friends,
competition to
really
see
good
who
friends.
could write a mythological world loosely based off of, in some ways, off of Christian mythology, and that's why both Tolkien and C.S. Lewis have
C.S.
a
Lewis.
lot of like very like Gandalf coming back, right? Very specifically was meant to be an angel more than anything. A lot of people people say it's Jesus because he comes back, which is kind of, but it's supposed to be more like an angel.
Aslan is more definitive
literally
Jesus because he's
like a representation of Jesus.
He's Jesus
he's
and
a
God
lion.
because literally the first
he's literally
the
Lion of Nazareth is Jesus Christ, and like the
no I'm talking about like the very first appearance of Aslan in the
the very first one.
He literally
is the voice.
Yeah. He's God. He brought the sunlight into the world, and all of Narnia came through.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Existence, yeah.
He's literally God, but like he's a literal representation of Jesus, like as well. Like he's both. Which, by the way, I don't know if anybody's ever seen those movies again in modern time. The CGI for those still stands up really well, especially for Aslan.
Oh yeah,
the CGI for Aslan is really good.
Okay, that's crazy.
That a long time ago.
Didn't like the second one bomb or something like that? The second movie.
This Prince Caspian bombed a bit. The third one really bombed.
Oof. Was the third one bad though?
Not necessarily bad, but it was really lackluster. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader was
Okay.
I think they only made 3 movies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
back to Leon.
Getting back on topic, all this stuff happens. He gets these powers and such. However, the main thing that draws me into this story is that normally whenever something like this happens, the main character personality just kind of switches. He just becomes this kind of cocky, overpowered protagonist that kind of just can do anything, knows anything, has the easiest route ever, gets all the girls and all that fun stuff. However, this one actually kind of subverts it because the main character still has that psychological trauma on him, and he still has to push forward and get through that, despite the fact that he has all this power on him. So if someone says, "Oh wow, you look really good," and it's like, "Oh yeah, okay, thank you." Depression, and you get to see the development of him getting more confidence in himself and see him prospering essentially. So you see a little bit of wholesomeness with it.
That's kind of fun.
But that's pretty.
It's more about his personal development, kind of like how One Punch Man is, honestly.
Because like he's become basically a pinnacle person, as most isekai protagonists are. He can use any weapon, use any magic. He can cook. He can. So it's very much, as you said, the Saitama effect, I should say. But that's pretty much it on me. There's nothing real else I can really talk about aside from doing taxes. That was a little fun thing.
Yeah, taxes is a thing right now.
Taxes is a thing. Found out that I actually had extra taxes from the year prior that I didn't know about. So that's a little fun aspect on that one.
How much you had to pay back, I wonder?
Usually having 2 jobs does that.
The only amount that I had to pay
I don't know
back
how,
for
but
the
you know.
2021 was 62, luckily. And this year's was 286, I think it was.
That's how much you got back, or that's how much you paid them?
Oh, I paid. I got nothing back. I paid them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had to pay. That's something I never understood about the tax system, where it's like, oh yeah, you work 2 jobs, clearly you need money, pay us more. What?
Yeah, it's a little fucked. Luckily,
I've never understood that.
Yeah, luckily my tax situation was pretty clean because I got $2,000 back pretty fast and easily. I did mine early, and I got $2,000 back pretty fast. Like, oh, hey, dope! I got $2,000 for my tax return. Woo!
Nice.
I will say this though, state of North Carolina very, very fucking stingy on taxes because they only want to give me back $50. Like, oh, come on, you stingy fucks.
Yeah. It's a pain. Unless you're a student, then you can get something back at least. But
Not by much though.
not much, no. But that does it for me. I'm gonna pass it off to Monty. Why not?
All right. So, no god tier transfer over this time, but basically, I did a lot of catching up on stuff. I actually did like a lot. I didn't realize I was just flying through a bunch of things at the same time. But so I revisited a bunch of webtoons that I've already like discussed before, but I basically caught up on them because I was behind on them. So I officially caught up on Lone Necromancer. Just real quick synopsis: this is a post-apocalyptic world that it's modern day, gets turned into a video game, becomes post-apocalyptic. We're following one dude. He chooses the card of the Necromancer, and you're following him and his team's journey as they try to survive this weird, like modern day fantasy world. Like there's like orcs and kobolds and a bunch of different stuff that's showing up, and every time they kill something, they level up. But the deal is that when you die, you actually die because it's the real world. So there's no restart, no press continue, no extra lives, none of that. So you just got to do it the first try. That's fire. Now that I officially caught up again, really enjoying where they were going with the story. There was a little bit of a lull there. I was like, getting away with a little bit of murder as far as like storytelling goes, but I'm like, it did make sense for the character because he's literally control over death, sort of. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, fine, right? You get they had a death in there that I was looking at being like, fine, you get to come back the one time, I guess. It's literally your thing, so fine. But for the most part, I actually really liked how they tackled a lot of like issues involving like people who have too much control in situations like that, and how willing people are to just follow anybody just for the matter of safety. Things about pride and how that gets in the way and that kind of stuff. It's really cool. I caught up on Homesick, which was another one that we mentioned really, really like a while back ago. Homesick is another post-apocalyptic adventure, but it's pastel. This is also a webtoon that involves our main character, Rain. She has amnesia. She wakes up, has amnesia. It's been 3 months. Realizes the world is falling apart, and there are these creatures called mercs that chase down and attack people if you look at them. Specifically, if you look at a merc in its eyes, that's how you know you're extra fucks. Because it will not stop until it kills you because you looked at it in the eyes.
You looked at me in the eye?
It will chase you to the end of the earth.
Oh, that's
Is this fucking thing SCP-149?
Is it one that's
Except that it's an entire invasion.
Oh, I thought, is it, I want to say 149, let me guess, it's Shy Guy.
Shy Guy.
Yeah.
But basically, there's kind of things...
Oh, 96. 096.
It's 96.
Yeah, we were way off.
I mixed the fucking... I always do that in numbers in general, like the 9 and the 6.
But basically, it's There's a bunch of different types. Most of the normal ones are monstrous in nature. But then there's a second type known as the infected type, which is like a normal human gains like abilities of that kind of stuff. But the deal is that they tend to become cannibalistic in nature and usually have to eat people. The biggest problem with them is that the normal ones are bestial. They are humans that are like infected and have become somewhat of a monster. They look normal, but usually the thing that tells them apart is like their fingernails are black, right? Or they'll usually have blood on them because they eat people.
They be hungry.
They be hungry. But the deal is that they are intelligent and they are technically the more dangerous ones because you don't know sometimes. You just don't. And then obviously powers are associated with them.
Yes.
And this follows Rain's story and slight spoiler for it, but she finds out that she's also one of the infected, but something's a little different. So she's constantly helped out by like this merc that's in her head and doing its best to not become one because for some reason it cares about her. And so it's kind of a team effort on them. So one of the things she has the ability to do is she can sense if another merc is around, right? Which usually is a pretty good indicator when you guys are running around trying to avoid them at all costs. But on top of that, she also has like an super increased healing factor. Like it's ridiculous how fast it is in some instances. But obviously, as she meets people who are normal humans, she doesn't want to give that away because that's a surefire way to get shot, just off rip. So it's her doing her best to kind of keep this a secret while also like befriending the people she wants to know and love and get to know, while trying to also recover memories and find maybe anybody that can tell her. But main goal is to survive because, I mean, it's a really bad time altogether. She woke up 3 months late. She didn't even get to see what happened. That one's a really fun one. By all means, go check it out again. I caught up on another one that you recommended a while back ago, Leon, which was, I'm just going to say the shortened name because I don't even bother.
But the isekai name.
My childhood friend was broken. It's that one.
Oh. Yes.
That was fun to catch up on. If you like stuff it's a feel-good story, but it deals with obviously strong themes of like depression and anxiety and things of that nature. It's fun, right? It's literally a kind of a uplifting story about, which is weird because it's a manga that is told in first person despite us having a direct character. It's sort of weird because mangas don't usually do this, I guess is the best way I could describe it. But when I think about it, comic books do this all the time. But the idea is just basically it's the sentence.
Yeah.
Homeboy comes back, his childhood friend that he grew up with, who is usually very cheery and happy and energetic and stuff, looks very different.
Very.
She's got the goth, the kind of not goth scene because she has pink hair, the I want to say punctures, but they're called piercings for some not for some reason, but like my head was saying punctures for some reason, so piercings. Looks very different. The art style is actually something I'm actually really a fan of in this one. I really like how a lot of stuff is drawn in it. Specifically, I really like how the eyes are drawn. It has like this really kind of rough look to it that is charming. Looks really cool, like, honestly, because it's purposely done.
Artist's name. It's like Z something.
I did know it. I think it's like. We'll find it later.
Well,
actually, you could look for it now. Cause what is it?
I'm looking. Hold on. Ziagia. I'm not. That doesn't sound like English, but.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, that's the name. ZyugouyA.
I think it's a.
Or maybe the Z silent, possibly.
No, I think it actually is like Zugio.
Zugio.
Or Zugia.
Zugia. Yeah.
Zugio. It's fucking me up because I should be saying Go, Yeah. Yes, it's Zugoya. But like as I'm trying to say it, I'm getting tongue tied. Which is why I was throwing me off. I'm like, bro.
But yeah, she has written the one that you're talking about, the childhood friend one, and the Sun So Cute one as well.
Yeah, the Sun So Cute and the divorce, my divorced neighbor one, which I hadn't caught up on, but I was reading that one too.
That one's also wholesome.
Also very wholesome.
She's really known for doing, despite how her art style is and how her characters can look, she's very much known for how wholesome her stories can be in general. Which is actually a pretty interesting balance when you think of just how the art looks. People might think of it just, this is going to be something ecchi, erotic, or very not to the norm, degenerate stuff. But no, despite how it looks, it's mainly just pure wholesomeness. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of service here and there, but it's mainly just the themes and the characters that you get to embrace.
I also will say I appreciate how human and realistic it is in some instances. Like genuine, like one of the things that happens is like they fuck. Like some of the characters like fuck. Like that's the thing. They're not doing it live on screen.
Yeah.
Right. But like it's the idea that it's just like, oh yeah, that happened. Right? Like it's not like how we usually watch anime and manga.
Oh no!
It's like, will they? Won't they? Oh, they'll not. Oh, they held hands. Like that's weird. Oh, they kissed. They freaked out.
How could they? Are they not gonna kiss? Oh no!
He's like, oh no! Oh, they kissed. They're gonna have an embarrassing moment. No, they're like humans about it.
He accidentally fell and touched her boob. What's gonna happen? Is she gonna get hit?
That actually really doesn't happen.
No,
which is good. They don't play into those tropes, but it's like, yeah, no, they're adult human beings that like have these interactions that are just, if they're romantic, they understand that they're romantic. They continue with them. Done. Right? Like, and I appreciate that because it's just one of those things you just don't get to see as much. Most, I guess I should say shonen and shoujo animes and mangas.
I'd say anime and
it's probably in senins, right? It's probably in way more senins.
It's seinen.
Seinen mangas. My bad. Seinen mangas.
Seinen manga, they do have the tropes. They do play with the tropes.
I'm sure they have their tropes.
But they most definitely do like progress into the more serious relationships and topics and stuff like that.
Like how we were talking about My Love Story, for instance. The idea that like you didn't have to wait like the entire season for them to get together. It's like they got together, and Aaron, I believe you said like episode 2 or 3 when you discussed it originally. Which it's like, okay, cool.
Rarity.
Like we get to progress through. We get to progress through the rest of the series as a relationship. Same thing with My Little Monsters. It's like it happens at some. I don't think it happens relatively early, and they're like the rest of the series is them in this relationship and the drama that comes with them, with them learning about being in a relationship. It's like, yeah, that's nice.
I think personally for the whole anime side, at least, with romance being like people coming an actual official couple like early, I think that's only seen that one other time with a show called Chivalry of a Knight, of a Failure Knight, something like that, and they get together in like the 4th episode at least, and you're like, well, holy shit, this is a breath of fresh air. Hold on, wait a minute, this is something else.
I feel this.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Yeah, woo! We can focus on other things aside from this will they, won't they shit. That's the main thing with romance in this genre. They never have...
It's just weird because I don't get me wrong.
It's just romance in general because a lot of American shows just do that.
Yeah, like I like it because I like my romance stuff, but it's like it's nice to just have something different because it's like it's usually everything that they do is the will they, won't they. Oh, maybe not, maybe possibly. It's
or somehow if they do it, they become a couple, something breaks them up, and they have to redo the whole thing again, or some sort of bullshit.
Yeah. That's mostly appears in a lot of superhero one, though.
Yeah, that's more superhero stuff. Superhero stuff tends to do that a lot, because it's just, like, circular storytelling. You gotta bring people back to a certain point, and then it's like, obviously, if you have the character around, you have to have drama, or they should be doing something in the background, right? Because you can't just, like, if Spider-Man's out, technically speaking, a part of me is like, if you just leave Mary Jane at home, right, and be like, oh, he has this loving wife, then Mary Jane doesn't really do anything in the story. She's just his wife.
The funny
You know
thing
what I mean?
is that they finally just cut that off, not for Spider-Man, but they did cut that off for Superman, where they're just they're together, they have a kid, they're a family.
Yeah, no,
and,
for Superman, they did the opposite, where they was just like, we want Superman to just progress. Like, it's fine.
Which is good.
I mean, to be fair, DC has always kind of been pretty, with the exception of like usually it's the big three that had the biggest problem with this. But like everyone else in DC are usually allowed to just progress. It's only recently around like the New 52 stuff in which people have kind of been a little stunted. But like usually with DC, it's just like, okay, Batman for some reason has to go back to just being single Batman.
Yeah.
Single Batman, not married. Even though he has 5 kids. 4 kids.
That's the thing that I don't really like with, well, the whole Batman thing whenever it happens. He had this whole arc of just Catwoman and him just being together, and it was working, even though, you know, it was kind of broken.
It was kind of perfect, yeah.
Kind of perfect, but broken because of how he was raised and everything, but it was working. He was mending and everything. But they just say, nah, he can't be Batman. Nah,
Batman's not allowed to be
healed. Yeah, the wedding that never finished, yeah.
And that's like, just like, what the fuck? This was going to work so well. They could be a romantic vigilantes or something of that variety. Maybe like a little moment of maybe some like cute, oh hey, want to do some like old time things. Like, I'm not totally sure, but shit.
Admittedly, it doesn't make any sense for Batman specifically for them to do this to Batman, because he's like marrying Catwoman, right? So like just how I was talking about, like usually you want a character like to still be doing something in the background, right, or doing something else or having their own story when you have them in things. Like with Superman, Lois is an investigative reporter, so she's always going to be doing something, right? Like something is happening in the background and she's investigating or anything that could end up helping the plot, right? Now that he has Jonathan Kent, I don't like the fact that they aged him up. I think they should have kept him as a kid for a lot longer. But like, now that he has Jonathan Kent can do things. He's literally a superpowered boy. Yes. He can just show up and do stuff.
Oh, hey, Dad needs some help. Yeah.
Catwoman is very much capable of defending herself and other people. So like, she should just be able to show up and do things. Because she can.
Hey,
like,
honey, I'm
just
gonna knock out this person for you. Here you go. Or maybe...
Wonder Woman dates around. I really don't remember who Wonder Woman's main love interest is because it's changed so often. She dates other superheroes.
The only one that's consistent one, at least if you remember, is her first was Steve Trevor, but even then, jumps around a shitload. Like you don't even care anymore.
The main interest that I remember correctly was because of the Justice League animated series was Batman in that case.
Yeah, and that one's like another one where it's like, I'm down for Batman or Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
I miss that. I wish that we actually, continued on with that.
But like, it's one of those things that kind of just, when you think about it, it's like, there's no reason to not just have this thing happen with Catwoman. You know what I mean? It's like, but the idea is that Batman has to go back to being sad. He has to be upset, and he can't be I can't. Upset, angry, sad, emotionally stunted Batman if he has a wife.
Like, no.
Even though he has 5 children.
Exactly, he literally has a family, but he just like, I'm the grumpy parrot. I can't.
But I must be solitude.
Yes. No.
I have well, Alfred's dead, but like, basically had a dad. I have like,
I have
the son that I had problems with that ended up turned out great. I had the son that died, but still, I guess he turned out fine. I had my actual biological
That's questionable.
son. I had the adopted son. Like, he has problems. Him and Jason Todd have problems, but Jason Todd is, like, he's back. He, for the most part, doesn't kill anybody. Like, right? Like, he tries his best. He's still Batman with guns, quote unquote, right? But, like, he's, like, he finagles it.
He finagles it. I mean, yeah, but, I died, probably still a psychological thing he has to deal with constantly.
Oh yeah, but I died is a psychological thing, but at least you're alive, right? Like, he doesn't have to go to your grave and cry.
Yeah, exactly.
He can go see you.
I think that's better than most things when you find out, oh hey, a adoptive son of mine kind of just perished in front of my eyes because of
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's
now
traumatic.
You're standing alive in front of me. Yay, thank God.
Significantly less traumatic.
Yes.
I mean, like, I saw you die, and that's still bad, but at least you're not dead.
Like, it's scarred in my head. I'm not going to want that to happen again, but hey, you're with me. Thank
At the end
you.
of the day, I get to see you. Like
I can feel you. Your heart is beating.
I get to talk. We get to have new memories.
But no,
Which is weird to say as a concept in reality at all. But like,
but no, it's just comics. It's possible, but it
but
doesn't
it's comics.
really happen like that because of how they write Batman to be. It's always this brooding guy who just can't get over whatever happened in the past. It's what
It's the
Harley
same
Quinn, the animated series, is going on about.
Another perfect thing, like Harley Quinn has progressed, as we know. She's no longer with the Joker. She's
Yes.
actually trying to be a hero now.
Yes.
Like
She's
this is so
married
much
to Ivy.
Is she actually married in the comics officially to Ivy?
No. In the show, she's married.
I know in the show she's like married, yeah, which is fine.
But in
Like
general,
that's
yeah,
perfect.
but-
In the comics, I don't know. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I know it's a relationship. I just don't know if she's married. That's the only thing I just don't know. But like, that's cool, right? Like you're like,
some of the
yeah,
stuff,
good for
progression.
Harley.
Yeah, good.
Progression.
Apparently, Punchline might become the new Joker. I'm kind of okay with that, believe it or not, because it's
The
like,
Joker's retiring too.
I don't know if he's retiring. I don't know if he's retiring.
I don't think that would normally.
My only hope is that they do kill him though.
They do. If they kill him, that's the only way he
Somebody
would
needs-
retire because he
somebody
wouldn't willingly do this unless Batman is dead.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody need to execute Joker. This would be the time. But like
Yeah.
according to some stuff I've seen, Punchline seems to be moving in the direction of being the new like Joker, which is fine by me, I guess, because it's like this. I like the Joker. He's a really good villain. Don't get me wrong. I love the Joker. He's a really good villain. But like somebody got to end this man at some point, right? Like that's kind of the deal. Like it's reached the point in comics where it's just like it's ridiculous how he's not in a grave right now. He's like, nobody put him in a body bag yet. Nobody.
I know Batman won't do it because it's
I know
Batman.
won't, but no one else put him in a body bag
Right,
yet.
right. And the one who was going to, Batman's like, "Hey, yo, that's not."
He's like,
good."
no, don't. It's like I'm amazed no one else has been like, man, F it. Like Damien should have been like, man, I'm sick of this.
Jason Todd got close. Jason Todd got really close.
Jason Todd got really close.
But then Batman showed up.
Batwoman ain't put him in a coffin. Orphan ain't put him in a coffin yet. Like no, there's a bunch of Bat people that could like actually have the capacity to kill and would probably kill the Joker. They just haven't put him in a coffin.
Right, right.
Ghostmaker is in the city right now, not in a coffin.
Hell, couldn't like Batgirl do the same thing? Shit, it was...
Yeah, no.
Batgirl has more than enough reason to do it.
Batwoman could. Batwoman has no problem putting him in a coffin. She's a cop. She uses guns. I'm amazed Commissioner Gordon hasn't had the opportunity.
Yeah, you
like,
shot my
as Commissioner
daughter.
Gordon, as Commissioner Gordon, I'm like, look, I won't chase after revenge, but who's to say my gun doesn't go off while you in the back of the police car? As I'm looking at him.
Misfire.
Oh, my finger slipped.
Oop,
Oh man, I
oh,
just shot Joker
unfortunate.
in the face.
The camera.
Oh, no.
The camera wasn't off. I don't know how. It just shot off.
Commissioner Gordon's a good cop, remember that, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, man, the justice system's kind of failed you on this one.
Multiple times.
On this one specific.
As a father in general, I would think you would want to, just put him in the grave very quick. Give him 1 or 2 bullets.
I'd spend some time in jail if it meant I took him out.
Yeah.
Like, I'd do it. But continuing off of the stuff that I watched Creed 3.
Oh.
Nice.
I watched Creed 3.
Opinions?
I really like Creed 3. I think I'm not sure where I'd put it out of all 3 movies quite yet, but I do give it the award of most stylish. Easy. It's the most stylish Creed movie.
Did you get the references?
Yeah. No, I got a ton of them. It was like, that's why I'm like, I would make it the most stylish one out of all of them. Like, I love a lot of the stuff that they did in it. Like we talked about, there's tons of anime punches in there. Nice. We didn't talk about this. You didn't tell me about this, Pele. And I'm not mad because I'm glad you didn't spoil it. But at the same time, the fact that you ain't say nothing, a little upset about it. There's a Dempsey role in this.
Yeah.
They do
I'm
a
not
Dempsey
surprised.
role in this.
I'm not.
I mean, of course, right? But like, I didn't know it was there. It's the boxing thing,
What?
and they said they were gonna take a lot of inspiration from anime and stuff like that. And I'm
Were
like,
there jet engines?
No.
there wasn't a need for it. Though there is one of the coolest things in this I really liked was the fact that like one of the fights they just straight up say, it's just them. Like like they actually just take the time to go like, no one else matters. It is just Creed and Jonathan Major's character, because it's not hitting my head right now. Dame. This is Creed and Dame.
Mm.
And when they did that, I was like, oh, this is clean. And then that's probably where the movie got most of its a decent chunk of its style points was in that scene. Like that last fight had a lot of really cool things. But there's a ton of like thematical stuff throughout the entire movie that's really cool. Like there's one when he's training and he remembers like him almost dying in the ring and coming back. That I'm like, that's pretty cool. And it's thematic for the idea of like he always gets, even if he's at his lowest point, he gets back up, right? So it's like, okay, I like it. I think I really like. I know you said that it ranked pretty low for you. I actually really enjoyed it.
Again, it's ranked pretty low for me for the entire Rocky series, but I'm more nostalgic of the entire franchise.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
If you want me to place it on the three, I still would say it's 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
Okay.
The first one I think is great.
Like for me, I just don't know because I feel like 2 is my favorite, but it kind of is a little interchangeable because I like
the first one is more my favorite because it leans more to the nostalgia part for me.
Yeah. It was like, but I like the idea of. I've always liked the idea of like 2 brothers having to come to blow, like two brothers walking different paths, coming back, and then having to deal with those kind of things. That kind of story really resonates with me. But I also really do like the idea of like Creed's 2's like the legacy of the previous fight, will history repeat itself kind of stuff. That's cool, right? The first one is just a really good movie on its own as well. So it's like I don't really know where I would rank it. I'm still pretty fresh on Creed 3, so obviously we've talked about this before. I have first time watch syndrome, like it happens. A part of me is trying to fight that because like in my head I'm like probably my favorite, but I'm like it's probably not actually.
For me, it's consideration because again I'm coming off the backs of the rest of the Rocky films. The first Creed is a callback as well as a continuation of a legacy that spanned over 4 decades. That's why I think it's so good. Again, the son of the best friend of one of the legendary boxers of all time goes back up and asks Rocky himself to train him. It's like that's why.
Cool. Yeah. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff that's like really cool in all 3 of those movies.
Oh yeah, well, the first scene in the film, the first scene in the flashback scene like that, and it's all the anime stuff. Like, yep, because Michael Jordan's a massive fucking nerd.
Yeah, he's not king of the nerds, but he's up there. That still belongs to Henry Cavill. He almost missed.
Yeah, he's the biggest nerd.
Yeah. he almost missed being Superman, so he can play WoW. Was it WoW or League?
No? He almost missed Superman so he can play The Witcher, and it's now in Warhammer.
The Witcher?
He was.
Because he lost the Witcher role and Superman role. Now
he's the call for Superman because he was playing a World of Warcraft raid.
Warcraft, that's right.
Yeah, so it was WoW, and then he obviously went on and played Geralt of Rivia.
Yep.
After playing Superman, we saw that, and then
now he's gonna do Warhammer stuff.
He's gonna walk into this fucking fully
he's
actualized bolter, and he's like, "All right, if anybody puts the wrong insignia and uses the wrong color, I will fucking kill you and your entire family."
Oh no, Henry Cavill in full on Space Marine
Somebody's
armor.
Like, hey,
oh
what if
my
we
god,
made a female Space Marine? Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of here!
Out of here!
Don't you fucking show your face again! You understand me? Fuck out of here! The Adeptus Sororitas exists for a goddamn reason!
They're not clones, but they use a genetic basis
the gene
from
code
previous,
can only work for males because the original sons were all males.
Yeah.
They're not clones, but they're descended of the same gene code.
Gene code.
Like they're literally called sons because they're biologically more related to like legitimate children than you
the
are.
Emperor of Mankind, which is male.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so they're all like brother. Like
they all have the same gene. They have the same gene.
Kind of sort of
the gene code.
But
brother.
Yes, but that's all. But doesn't mean that the females are
the Adeptus Sororitas exists. There's like so many different versions.
They're badass on their own.
Entire chapters, they do exist. They are badass as fuck. Excuse me. It's just that Space Marines as they work. It's like it only applies to like the male gene.
it should only be them. Yeah, it's like they even made a little faction specifically for the girls in the thing. So it's like, okay, no, that's fine. I was just curious of like the reasoning because it's like it's like if you're asking like why is there no female stormtroopers except for
but the thing is there are female stormtroopers.
Clone troopers. Not bad, clone troopers.
Clone
it's
troopers,
like
yeah.
they're clones. That's why
it makes sense for them to make a female though, based off of what they did, like genuinely. But like, yeah, it's like there's no female clones because they're
genetic
clones.
mutation.
You know, it'd be like that.
But that's why I wanted to know because I was like,
and it
obviously
makes
you two are pretty adept in the Warhammer stuff.
And it follows with the Warhammer specifically because as the Imperial Man likes to keep things very pure, is, like, of course there won't be any deviations
aren't like,
with it.
They're not like born Space Marines. Like they're fully grown adults usually.
It's a process.
You know, they live on like these horrible worlds that are like incredibly difficult to survive on.
And then there's a selective process. For some of them, it's like a very volunteer base.
And then there's the whole do they survive the
surgery
surgery part? Because there's like a ton of stuff that they have to undergo that like they could just die.
And if you want to go for the extreme ones like the Custodies and the Grey Knights,
I mean,
fuck that.
That's a whole nother level though. But yeah.
There's a reason why you guys talk about Space Marines and how they make like Master Chief with bitch made like and all of them.
Easily.
I love Chief and I love like the Halo world. Like I love
Halo
lore.
Yeah,
but
cool.
like against I think like all it would take would be like one dreadnought full of like a fucking battalion of Space Marines, like a chapter of them, and it would be over. Because they're built different, like space.
They're built.
They're built different. No, like
the
one chapter,
like built for like they're there to fight chaos. You know, that's
yeah. One chapter of Space Marine is enough to take over a planet.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's one in the entire Imperium of Man. Just one is enough.
Don't you mean Master Cheeks?
No, Master Cheeks is a specific individual.
No,
no, we're talking about actual Chief, not the
Master
fucking
Cheeks
show.
Would get bodied by Master Chief, and you do nothing against a Space Marine. He'd be a civilian. Like, what do you mean?
Like, Chief would basically be a like really, really, really adept, like.
Kriegsman.
I would say he'd be above a guardsman.
Like, that's why I say Kriegsman.
Yeah,
Kriegsmen
like Kriegsman
are really
on steroids,
good.
really, I guess. Sure. Like, I don't think he'd instantly die in the Warhammer 40k world, but the second he...
No, he'll survive, but it's a rough...
With, like, a fucking, like, chaos, right? It's over. And the second, like, he gets found, it's like, who are you? Where the fuck did you come from? What is this armor you have? You have this talking AI. That's not good. We don't have technology that can talk.
Although the AI part, they immediately try to kill him for.
But Creed 3 is interesting. I really like that movie. I enjoyed it. I think it has a ton of style, and that's why I really like it. Speaking of style, we watched the Raid 2 today.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
that was great.
I had never seen the Raid 2. The
movie that spawned John Wick.
Yes, yeah. What a good movie. What an interesting ending. If you like action movies, you should watch it. My original thoughts on it, Pele, you didn't get to hear. I'm not really sure if I enjoyed it more than the first one, though. Because we were talking about it with, me and Aaron were definitely talking about it. But, like, I enjoyed the simplicity of the first one. Where it's just like, hey, look, cops went into this place. Place is bad. Shit went down. Live. But I do see extreme Sleeping Dogs references in this off rip. This had obviously inspired Sleeping Dogs. I like the idea of like the whole undercover cop situation and stuff like that that's happening throughout this entire film. I like the idea that it's a bunch of different characters that we get to see have really cool fights. Mm-hmm. It's something that I did enjoy. Because obviously we followed Rama throughout the whole first movie pretty much. And him, like, dealing with every
Sleeping
problem.
Dogs is older, Amani.
Sleeping Dogs is older than the Raid?
Raid 2, specifically.
Oh, than the Raid 2. Fair enough. I didn't know that.
Yep. 2012 was Sleeping Dogs. Raid 2 came out in 2014.
Ah.
Like, when we said that, like, that doesn't sound right. Like, I swear it was, like,
Well, because the reason why you guys, I took this as a thing because like the raid when you guys talked about the raid, you mentioned Raid 2 specifically how it inspired.
yeah,
a bunch
like
of
we were
films.
talking about when we were watching it. The
Like-
entire first fight scene in the first Deadpool movie. It's
Oh, yeah,
straight
straight
the
from,
raid
like,
like
the-
car scene.
yeah,
It's
the car
it's
scene.
almost
Straight
that
raid,
fight
yeah.
just funny.
Straight.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But like it did inspire a ton. Like it definitely like
Oh no, it's not saying that. I just figured it inspired that. I associated it with a lot of other things
I do
as
think
was
the
watching
Raid
it, 'cause I
1
figured it was
probably inspired. I think
inspirational.
Raid 1
It is
inspired it.
inspirational,
Raid 1 inspired
One
it, I
inspired Sleeping Dogs, more like but
Well,
not two for sure not. If anything else, if they played the game, they might have seen some of the sequences from the game and used that in the film.
it's possible. But I did like it though. I was looking at it definitely going like, it's a cool ass movie. It's like best way I could describe it is like I don't have a time frame for when these came out. I just know they came out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I hear that it's inspirational, I assume that it inspires a ton of stuff that like I just played in the past or something like that. So it's like, or it's seen and stuff like that. But like obviously, direct things you see like the Deadpool fight scene, for instance, or actually, it couldn't have done. Let me see something, because someone made a comment during the movie. I just want to see when did.
Deadpool 1?
No, not Deadpool. Yeah, I know it clearly inspired Daredevil, right? Like one of the seasons, like the season of Daredevil. But
I would say
someone made a
definitely for the
comment
first
about
one,
it.
Definitely the
especially
John
since
Wick movies,
because
for
I made
sure.
that comment. I think John Wick
Yeah,
for sure.
okay,
That's,
so for
that's
instance-
a definite.
I can't remember who made the comment, but like the prison scene, and I think that's probably why I associate it as a further date. The prison scene, someone said it inspired Batman Begins, like one of the Batman.
Batman Begins
fights.
is way older than the
Yeah,
Raid.
but Batman
reminded
Begins
me
is
of
older.
it.
That's why I went to look.
That's
I
what
was
I
like,
said. It reminds me of.
Yeah.
He's
I said it
okay.
reminded me of it, but I was like, it
That's
looks.
what it is.
It reminds me of like
Yeah.
the scene where they're fighting in the Batman Begins.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But like, I guess in my head when I heard that, I associated it with like
Yeah.
inspiring it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was
Yeah.
like, He's like, but yeah, no, Batman Begins predates this movie, but this movie's fire though.
I think
either way.
Raid 1 was just like the second one was good. I just think the first one is just it's perfect. You know what I mean?
It's so airtight. Yeah, it's
It was
like-
very airtight, yeah. Second one, they go a bit bloaty for it, but they do well in the world building aspect, which John Wick takes inspiration from.
Just the world building of it. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It does build a world out in that one, like hella hard. It's like, oh yeah, those
Hammer Girl, Bad Boy, all those sequences you can spot easily in John Wick.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, the Raid 2 is a pretty fire movie, and if you haven't seen it by any chance, do yourself a favor and go watch it. Especially if, like we just said, you're a fan of any of the John Wick movies and just never watched it. Next up on that list I have to do is Dread. I have to do Dread
Oh, Dread you'll like a lot.
because pretty much in the same vein as those. I was supposed to watch Dread for like a good minute now. I just never found the opportunity to. I
Hey,
always
well,
knew it was good. Just
If
never-
you want to do it tonight, I'm more than down to do it.
maybe another night. But lastly, we played Second Extinction. That one's fun. Fun.
It's
dinosaur game.
it's a dinosaur first-person shooter tower defense.
No tower defense. It's
No
just,
tower defense. I figured.
No, it's
actually more,
just
like,
an open
world
world like mission
level-based
based
stuff?
game.
Mission patient.
Honestly,
game.
it's really fun for something
like-
that's been in an alpha or whatever. I think it's early access. It's
For a
been
very
early
long
access
time.
for like 2 years.
early
if I
access,
remember,
yeah.
maybe 3, and like it's still missing a lot of quality of life stuff. It's fun.
stuff.
It's
with
fun.
yeah, it's fun. I'm
It's
surprised at how much
I'm
quality.
guessing
of life
it's
stuff
just-
this
But like
is.
for
still
example,
just in the
I was
title,
trying
so,
to
like-
invite Amani to my party, and he's like, "Have you invited me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I invited you like twice." And he's like, "Oh, that shit doesn't glow. It just appears, but it doesn't tell you that you got an invitation or anything. There's no notification whatsoever." You know?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
actually
you
in,
just have to go check it, and that's
Is
like
that-
just a basic one. That's like
it's
huh.
actually in beta because they're planning to release it this
Like-
year.
Yeah, no, it has to be
It's
beta.
missing a lot of stuff. Personally, it's not bad. There's like the upgrade system for the weapons, Amani. We were talking about that earlier. It's a little bit
yeah, a
too
little
much
funky.
for
I'm
stuff
not
that
a
doesn't
funky.
give you enough. You know, like you have to spend points to unlock the spot to put the upgrade, and then you have to buy the upgrade slots. You know, like the token
upgrade
to
token
put in the
to
slot,
put in to get
so
the
like
upgrade.
it's a lot, and then
Yeah.
the upgrades themselves don't exactly do like an incredible amount, necessarily. So it's a little strange.
It's the biggest thing is probably just having to grind
Yeah.
out 2 tasks just to
Yeah,
get the 1 point.
And, like,
it's really weird. That's
it's also like the missions are
that's
cool because you go out and you are
strange.
fighting dinosaurs and it's fun, but like it's also the same thing.
It's an
It's
open
an world, but it is
like we
it is the
said,
same
too,
thing.
so it's like
Kind of.
yeah, you're always going from point A to point B.
Like
to
usually
do
it's
something.
open open.
It might change a little bit, but usually you're fighting a dinosaur.
And it's cool. It
obviously.
is fun. There's like an arena mode. I think there's like a horde mode, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they did like the horde mode thing, which we haven't.
I feel like
checked out, but I
that's
think
the
that would
more
be
fun,
probably
way to
the
play
funner
it,
way to
I
play the
believe.
game.
But like the stories, like the missions are fine. It's all right. It's just like kind of like I'm surprised at how much is left for them to work on after it being early. Because I remember I downloaded
For it
this
to be
when it was
coming out
free
so
a
soon,
while
yeah.
ago on Epic, and I played it for a while. And they have made the gunplay more fun. They made the gunplay more like actually smooth. Like it was a little clunky before. You know what I mean? Like it was a little bit clunky before, but now it's actually kind of like it's working pretty well. It doesn't feel as stiff, let's say. But yeah, I don't know. I it's still they need to work on it.
It still has time to fix some things, but
it does need.
It's
some
gonna
work,
take
though.
a couple patches, I guess. I feel. Yeah. It's like it feels good to shoot things and stuff like that in the game. I'll admit, well, like it's fine, right? But it's not like it's not as good as it could be, just yet. The other thing is, okay, so I got a couple things on this still. So I watched season 2 of Don't Believe Me, Miss
Nice.
Nagatoro. Fun, yes. Haven't finished it yet, but I started watching it. Fun, still. Romantic comedy in which introvert boy meets not introvert girl, and they basically constantly are playing a game of chicken.
He bullied me. She
They're
bullies
playing
him.
a game
My bad.
of increasing risque situations of chicken.
Yep, and she also has an eternal
She
tan.
do be a swim.
line.
She's in the swim team.
Yes,
Oh,
because
yeah.
the boy is a nerd and the girl technically isn't as about it as she thinks she is. But she will talk junk as if she's about it.
Mhm.
He's like, but still remains to be hilarious, honestly. Great show. Season 2 is so far excellent. I finished Resident Evil Remake. Well, Resident Evil 4 Remake, I should say.
Yeah.
You gotta specify on that one.
Gotta be real specific. You gotta be real specific. There's like 3 other ones.
You beat my game.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 Remake is fire. Got to use the Magnum eventually. Literally found out I didn't buy. I think I probably shot that thing once until the last boss.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
Magnum
just
ammo's
who
rare.
I am. Yeah, just who I am. So by the time I got there, I'm like, actually the final stretch play, I was getting enough like resources that I was like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of Magnum bullets. I'm just gonna make it until I have a box of Magnum bullets.
Is
'Cause I don't have enough for a
Is
box.
the Magnum like the most damaging weapon there is in the game, or
Kind of, sort of. Yeah. It's iconic for being one of the
base
most
game,
damaging
yes.
Yeah.
But the most damaging game in the game is actually down the line you have to unlock. It's the hand cannon, which is a full-on magnum that will kill virtually anything in one shot, including bosses.
Oh, okay.
But but by the time you get that, you've probably beaten the game like over a dozen times.
Okay.
You probably should be one-shotting bosses anyway.
But no,
yeah,
the most
it's one of
powerful
those
gun in the
things.
game is the rocket launcher. It's always going to be the rocket launcher.
Yeah. It was like, I got the rocket launcher. It was like, shoot it.
Yeah, because it's in Resident Evil specifically, both from the very first game to this one, even the original ones, rocket launchers will kill all bosses with one shot, always.
Because that's how it has to do.
It's a trope.
rocket launcher, of course.
Well, rocket launcher OP in the Resident Evil universe, even though technically it's not actually. Like the normal rocket launcher isn't, but they always have the special one.
And that one does damage.
And that one's the strongest weapon in the game, no matter what.
Well, I was just curious because the Magnum bullets apparently are the rarest thing you can possibly get, or scarcest.
Yeah, no, Magnum until you get to obviously movie credit and use rocket launcher or big gun, right? Magnum is the thing that deletes stuff for you if it's too much of a problem.
I see.
Magnum is the thing you pull out to be like, oh yeah, this regenerator is a problem. Goodbye.
I'm at 1 HP. Alright, let's bring out the big
time
gun.
to start blasting.
Indiscriminately.
He's like, you fight any other boss that's not the final boss and go and be like, oh, bet, I have a Magnum. Say less. I'll be fine. I can live.
I got 2 bullets. That'll do.
Magnum's the gun that you will literally use every other bullet in your arsenal before you bother to even try to attempt to fire one out of the Magnum.
That rare, I should say.
Yeah. Resource. You save that. Bella, you've played those games. Would you not agree? Like, you heard the Resident Evil expert here in this instance. Would you not agree?
Not agree with what?
Everything I just said. The philosophy of you save the Magnum until like the last thing you can use out of your arsenal.
As an actual player with it, then first time, sure. Afterwards, I actually sell them.
You sell them? Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the Red 9 is my... Yeah, but because the
Red 9 is not hitting more than the Magnum.
Unless you make every shot count, which I do.
Plus, I'm also kind of referring to like every Resident Evil, not just 4.
Oh no, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But again, that depends on how you play. For me, after a while, I make sure to make it last. So Resident Evil 4 is because it's currency based. I sell them. In original Resident Evils, I do make them hold off until usually near the very end, or if I expect a big boss to come through.
See, boss the leader.
Understandable. The Magnum.
Exactly. And I finished Children of Blood and Bone.
Shoot.
That was a great story. Yeah, that was a great story. I explained it a little bit before, but it is magic in Africa. Basically, everyone looks like Storm. Well, everyone that has magic looks like Storm.
Mag attacks.
The mag attacks is a thing.
Mag attacks.
That gets dealt with by the end of this book. The mag attacks does indeed get unwound. But really fun time. We had some love, we had some betrayal, we had some crazy stuff happen. Genuinely, I highly recommend reading it. Actually, for those of you that like pretty much anything involving, like, if you like African culture, for instance, or folklore, if you like magical tales and stuff like that, any type of, well, I wouldn't say any type of fantasy. Actually, if you like fantasy, just check it out, right? It's got some cool stuff going on. There's not like a dragon appearing or anything crazy, but like I said before, they like ride around on these giant lion cat things, technically.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think dragons exist in Africa.
You know,
they have fucking dinosaurs.
But like, they're some really cool stuff. They have really, really cool things in there that are kind of popping off, and I can't wait to see how the series continues, because there's I think there's another book coming out. Didn't know this was written extremely recently. This book came out around the time of a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff was happening. It was being written during that time, actually. It means it had to have come out fairly recently. Book 2 was already out. It's crazy to think about. Because one of the author's notes that she goes through into it, she talks about how, like, a huge part of how, like, while writing the book was constantly looking on the news. It was her escape during COVID and everything that was happening when writing it. And I thought that was really interesting, considering how it played out and how things play out throughout this, like, the entire story. I was like, okay, it's one of those things that you're told at the end, and when you think back on the story, you're like, that explains a lot of how things were handled and dealt with and things like that. It's like, I actually really like it. A huge part of it is that Zaylee is a person that is extremely mad about, like, oppression and stuff like that, but she doesn't have, like, a proper outlet for that anger, and people are constantly being like, you need to chill out just a little bit. just a little bit. He's like, but, like, the whole time you're hearing about it, you're like, no, I get it. There's some righteous fury in here, but like, I need you to not take it out on any and everybody. You need to pick your battles better, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, and when you get to obviously the end of the book and hear about that little bit, you're like, I now understand exactly how she got that feeling. Like that feeling is written very well in this book. But I would highly recommend going to read Children of Blood and Bones and continuing that series because I, for one, am. But next up, I'm finally gonna finish off Mistborn, the second era Mistborn stuff.
Okay, nice.
That last book has been waiting for a good minute, so I gotta go start reading that. But other than that, that's it for me. So Pele, sir, take it away. We're probably not many of the docket on this one, but that's fine.
Yep. Hey guys, how you doing? So pretty much my week has been going through playing the remakes of other horror games. I've been playing Final Finish through Dead Space. That was great experience. Great fleshy aspects. I love it going through the New Game Plus.
Degloving.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about when I think about the new Dead Space remake.
What?
It's just degloving.
Oh,
it's the idea that you can just deglove someone.
Well,
fuck it.
I think I told you about their flesh systems because when you shoot at the body parts and everything, you actually can see the flesh slipping off and you to the bone until it breaks.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah. It looks really dope, and I love all the gory little details.
It's an intense level of gore.
Graphic details is really impressive for the game at full 60 frames per second. Gun gameplay is great. I like the line gun quite a bit. Force gun, still the best gun in the game. There's literally one concussive blast, everything gets dead. I love it.
Kaboom!
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Besides that, I've also been playing. There's the new DLC for Vampire Survivor just dropped. Currently playing it. I'm almost done with it actually.
That was fast.
Yeah. Pretty much need to unlock a couple more characters, and then I'll be currently done. New forest location. Okay. Well, they added 4. I have. Let's see. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. About 52 characters in total.
Okay, 52 and they added 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad at all.
Yep. And really close to finishing that off. And yes, $1.52. The game is super cheap base and DLC, so play it. It's good. It's fun. It's pretty much the predecessor to all Survivor like games nowadays. It's a bit simple because all you gotta pretty much do is move the left stick the entire time, but it's fun. I like it. Music's dope and hopping.
It's hopping.
It's real. It's really good. It's good music regardless. But another game I've been enjoying a lot out of recently. I bought and been playing Dredge. Dredge is as we spoke about this in the podcast beforehand, but just a reminder, is a fishing game where you just go through multiple different islands in the area trying to fish for it. Things get really fucking creepy and intense as you play through, especially at night with a rolling fog, and things under the deep come out and try to get you. It terrifies me to no end. Weird shit appears in the middle of the night. There was this floating ship I see in the distance. I tried to chase out of. It turns out to be a gigantic fucking anglerfish that's imitating and come chasing after my ass.
Oh yeah, I don't know why that reminded me. I'm also playing Sunder, so me and Pele are both going through Eldritch horror adventures currently.
Yep, mine is playing on my actual fears of thalassophobia because fuck this shit comes through. I go try to investigate a sunken ship. Turns out to be a gigantic fucking crab.
Yeah, no, I saw that. That was funny.
Fuck, get out. And on the calm moments, you see dolphins flying. I see a humpback whale breaching through, and afterwards, turning left, I hear a rumbling noise, and I see a fish that's 13 times the size of my own ship passing me by. Fuck! Drive! Get out of there. It gives me a heart attack, but I love playing it because it's a very calming experience, but also want to know the mystery of where the fuck am I and why is this fucking happening?
See, that's kind of ironic due to the fact that you're saying it's calming, peaceful, at the same time it's giving
no,
you
it
a
is.
goddamn heart attack.
It's as calming as Silent Hill, which also can be calming.
Fair, but I don't know about that one. But I get it. I guess I get it. That one's an interesting one for sure.
The fog effect reminds me a lot of from Silent Hill. Like, oh yeah, this gives me that heavy vibes for sure. Music's also very nice too. Until my screen starts to flash red, I see eyeballs in the middle of the darkness, and then a fucking tentacle pops out of the fucking ocean, tries to swipe me into the fucking sea.
He's just saying.
I haven't died in the game yet, luckily, but Jesus Christ, I got close to death several times.
He's just saying.
Especially when my engine blew out twice.
Damn.
Going at a snail's pace, and as things are still chasing after your ass, especially with the piranhas I mentioned before to Amani.
The piranhas sound like problems.
Piranhas
Piranhas sound like incredible problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Mama.
There's Mama to the piranhas. But yeah.
Until they told me that, I was actually kind of shook because I was like, oh, so those were the babies.
Yep.
That's problematic.
Hey, Amani, you remember those piranhas? Yeah, I found Mama.
Dang.
Leave.
Yeah. Leave. It's time to go.
Yeah, once they see the big one show up.
But no, yeah, that game does actually look extremely relaxing until it's trying to murder you.
Oh, yeah. But I'm liking it. I can't wait. It's also surprisingly small. It's less than a gig, surprisingly. Like, after playing all through the Call of Duties, after 200 fucking size files, this is a nice, fresh change of pace.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, Billy?
No. Oh yes, and one last thing. Me and Paul actually did watch a movie recently. We watched the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a movie with Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage. That movie is pretty much a parody movie where Nicolas Cage plays a fictionalized version of himself who's down on his luck and his career is about to fail. Takes an acceptance offer for $1 million to appear at Pedro Pascal's character's birthday party because he's absolutely in love with the fucking guy, celebrity idolship. Huh? Yep. And it's the movie is really fun because it's both a reflection and meta humor, both Hollywood talk as well as Nicolas Cage's career going through it. Nicolas Cage plays himself as a younger version. He speaks himself called Nicky, which is pretty much a younger Nicolas Cage from the 1980s. Is rocking out like, "You're Nick fucking." 15 seconds later, he's still screaming Cage. Yeah. It's a trip, but I enjoy it quite a bit. The chemistry between Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage is very cute because you see a character who's absolutely in love with Nicolas Cage as an actor. Like, that's funny. That's really funny. Gets in this whole drug heist thing and this whole spiel, but it's really great. And I watched it mainly because of the meme. I found out the context for that meme. So in the meme, it's Nicolas Cage looking at Pedro Pascal while they're driving, kind of like an angry look. Pedro Pascal just has a big shit-eating grin on his face as they're driving down looking at Nick Cage. The context of that in the movie, they're on LSD.
That makes sense.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Makes total sense.
Memory can happen anytime on LSD, apparently.
Yeah, and the song is also not in that film. It's just a weird jazzy thing that appears in the film, but the song is added to make the meme funnier. It was like that's great. Yeah, that was what I did this week.
Oh shit!
All right, bet. All right, so let's get into the news, everyone. So we're probably gonna do like 2 each, just because.
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's covered. There's a lot, and that's a decent amount of stories. So, I guess the first one I kind of want to check out and talk about. I guess fine. The first one we should talk about, I guess, the Marvel's teaser trailer dropped, right? And it looks fun. It does look fun. I don't care about Carol Danvers, but I do.
I've already seen people complaining about the suit downgrades, especially
look
for
fun.
the young, the Kamal. The
Damn,
young girl.
already.
Apparently, from the show that she had to the one they're using currently in the movie, is apparently it's not as it's a worse version of her suit. For Carol Danvers
Carol or
and
Kamala?
For Kamala.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, Carol Danvers is definitely a
Her
weird
suit
one.
is definitely
I have to
different.
look again
It's
because I'm
definitely
gonna be
different.
honest, I was not excited. It's definitely probably different. Yeah, it's weird because like at the end of the series, she had, I'm not kidding, a comic book accurate version of her suit. So if that changed, which I really did not pay attention to, that's kind of sad. It's a little sad.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't. The thing is, I don't really care about that.
But
hopefully it's not bad. But I just don't care about it.
I really like Kamala Khan, and I really like Photon,
Monica Rambeau.
Spectrum, Monica Rambeau. So like so because those two are in it, and we're finally getting them to have like a proper movie, I'm looking forward to it. Also, with the mechanics happening in this, where they keep swapping places, obviously there's a shot in the trailer where they're fighting the Ronin chick, the main villain. I don't know what her name is actually. I'm not even gonna front like I do. There's a chance we're just gonna get there's a chance that the MCU could do one of its coolest fights ever in this film because strong Jujutsu Kaisen vibes, Aaron. Think. Think. Strong Jujutsu Kaisen vibes.
They cast the actress for the main villain, but they have not given her a name. Like the villain is still unknown as the Marvel's one.
I think she's supposed to be
General Dar Breen is the suspected name. Darbean. Who the fuck is General Darbean?
I couldn't tell you. I'm assuming Ronin's daughter because she has this hammer. Unless all the executioners have that hammer.
I have no clue. It looks.
That's my best guess, though.
It looks neat. The trailer.
Imperial Kree Army. Was it he? Let's see.
She's not blue, so I don't know.
Like, I mean, the Krees, some are blue, some are not. Okay, so
yeah, I kind of iffy on that one a little bit. I kind of wish they'd stay more.
Is this a continuation of the Kree Army things? Apparently, it had a connection with the Silver Surfer, so maybe that's a setup for it. I don't know.
Carol's definitely has a more simpler suit. It's not as complicated as the other one. It's not as bright either.
I don't mind it. It kind of works.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it, kind of like it's fine. It's not my best. Okay. Admittedly, Monica's isn't bad either, but like best way I can describe this is I really like one costume of hers, and this is not it. It's the one with basically she's wearing the spandex, but she has the bomber jacket, and I was like, that's it, that's the one, and they are not doing that. It's a little sad. That's all I can say. Yeah, let me try to get a nice look at this. Actually, no, this is. I mean, it's not 2 parts. I don't think it's 2 parts, which is kind of weird.
I don't think it was.
I don't know. We'll see. I have to get a better look. I'm trying to look at it in the trailer, but it's
I'm not really
seeing the downgrade on hers though. Oh no, never mind. I found it.
You found it, and there you go.
What was that?
Okay, so here's the deal. She's gonna get a costume change, obviously, but I don't agree with this costume change off rip. Yeah, the Kamala Khan costume is obviously changed because there's 2 costumes in this I've seen so far, and the second one I don't like nearly as much as the one she originally has. But
yeah, it's no longer the burkini look, which is like, oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's looking more like you know how at the end of Avengers. How she gets like a new suit, but it's like Stark Tech kind of suit.
Yeah,
it looks similar to that.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like, because technically speaking, in the comics, she does get a tech suit at one point.
Yeah, it's just not really.
Looks cooler than that.
Yeah,
it looks way cooler than the one that's sitting in here. And it's like, so I'm kind of like, oh, sadness. I guess this is more so to be more of a spacesuit because it's not like Kamala can breathe in space.
Yet.
I'm not gonna say yet. She can't breathe in space. I'm assuming that this is a suit that's supposed to be more like functional outside of Earth's atmosphere as opposed to her rocking some Converses. But it's still one of those things where it's like I can understand why people looked at it and were like, oh, I don't like it.
It's a little off-putting, but I do understand the pain of it because it does give off that like Marvel's Avengers vibe at the end of the Stark suit. Like it's cool, but it's seen better.
Wait, I think I just saw another detail that I have to look at again because I did not do the breakdown on this at all.
Like, and what?
Is she actually stretching?
Oh, they actually gave her full-on stretch abilities?
Yeah, like I'm looking at it because it doesn't look like she's just doing the light concept thing. It looks like her actual whole fist is stretching in this. And
I
like,
think that might just be
shimmering.
I think that just might be a placeholder because they might still do the hard light thing for the actual movie, while this one's just like a placeholder.
No, like it has the hard. It looks like it has the hard light over it, like as like a sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still like she's actually stretching underneath. I don't know. We'll see. Like you said, it could just be like something that they're just doing the placeholder it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still got to work on the CG stuff and all that crap.
Yeah, apparently from a lot of early showings, it was not very good.
Nope.
People were not.
A lot of reshoots.
And I'm like, ooh, that's unfortunate for everyone involved. But I think it was a cool little teaser trailer. I looked at it and I'm like, it looks fun, right? Like that's the deal. It's definitely approaching this in a funnier way than like kind of anything else, and a part of that is probably because Kamala is in this film, and her series was more comical, so it feels a little weird for them to not kind of carry that tone. If that makes any sense. I don't remember. I know that there's like a couple funny parts in the original Captain Marvel, but from what I remember, I don't remember it being very comical. And can anyone confirm that or not?
No.
The original Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was comical when Carol Danvers punched out a lady.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the final fight against what's his fucking name? Jude Law's character. Like, I don't want to fight you. We're gonna talk to like people, and then Carol just blasts him away.
Wow. I didn't know that happened.
Yep. Because
that's
okay. In terms of context, I get it, because the whole point of the film was he was trying to help her control her powers to get her under control of him. But no, it's like that was the point of the lessons. No, it turns out like she needs to be able to use her powers free willing without any control. Like she allows herself to be who she wants to be.
Yeah. So like him talking is actually detrimental in this instance.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's just I don't know how to describe this. I'm usually a fan of just talk. But
I'd rather prefer that than fist flying sometimes.
Yeah, literally the biggest detriment about WandaVision was not the biggest detriment. The best part is the fact that Vision just
talks. Yeah, him and White Vision literally just end their fight by talking. That was the best part.
That was the best. He just talked. That was it. But to I guess continue. I guess the other thing I wanted to mention, let me make sure of this before we're going anywhere else. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave this one to you, Pele. I have total faith you'll mention this. But I guess I'll mention the other thing, which is, so Nightwing is, Nightwing's getting a spin-off film.
Woo!
Let's go!
Nightwing's
getting a spin-off film.
My only hope is that they do not use the dude from Titans.
Oh, please don't. He just doesn't look like Nightwing. I already had that background like breakdown while we were on the podcast before. Just don't use him. Just don't use him. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. Nightwing is actually one of my favorite Batman characters, so it's like, yeah,
of all the Batman side characters, he deserves his own stuff. Seriously,
he's actually up there as one of my favorite DC characters because I've discussed this before. I think my favorite DC character is Robin. And it doesn't matter which one. But if I had to choose a Robin, it'd probably be Nightwing. It'd probably be Dick Grayson, because he's like the original. He's considered like the best of them all. My second would be Damian. I love Red Hood, but I just like him being a brat and being like, fuck it, I kill things. Like...
and I love the dynamic with Nightwing and Damian, because Dick is the oldest brother, so he has to be the big brother to Damian.
Like that's his Robin. He got changed, but that's his Robin. Like he's like, I chose you. We went out there. We had fun. Like that was the deal. And then obviously Red Hood being the solid like third place for me, only because it's like Red Hood is sick. Love him. Cannot not do the same story with him.
I mean, to be totally fair,
not do the story with him.
I mean, to be totally fair, he only became good until after he died as Robin.
I mean, yeah, but no, I liked him as Robin before. It's just It's not even that people didn't even like him as Robin before. He was just a punk Robin.
He
kind
no,
of had Damien energy, but like he was.
Yeah, no, they didn't like him enough to kill him. That was the point.
No, that's the thing. They didn't even like. Apparently, it was rigged. It was just one dude that didn't like him, and so he got him killed, and it changed comics forever. Yeah, so like the deal is that when fans were supposed to vote, apparently most people actually voted for him to be alive, but one dude spam called the thing hella hard and then got him killed.
Oh wow!
Altered reality.
He did it hard enough that
Reality is whatever I want.
he altered reality. Yeah. He's like, that is the story bit for that one. It's hilarious. And then ever since then, Jason has been like, I have to be the one that dies unless they do like an Elseworld story where he's the first Robin, or Dick Grayson was the one that died. Weird, but whatever. But yeah, those are the two for me because like, yeah, man, like the Marvels kind of need to be talked about, and Nightwing is kind of the one.
For me right now, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. If you ever wanted to,
that is interesting.
Like experience, I'm guessing it's all the games you can play it now. It's not, all the 2D games ones. At least is what I'm getting off of it. It's a collection essentially. So if you want to see what the very first one was like, or I don't know, when did the 2D stop? Until like 6, I think it was. All the way up to 6.
Whichever one had Terra, that was the last 2D one. I'm pretty sure.
Because I know 7 was the first 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way up until 6, you get to experience the stories of the very long ass games of Final Fantasy. So
that's a lot of Final Fantasy games.
It is a lot of Final Fantasy games.
It's all the way. It's genuinely a collection of all of them up until 6. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
That's gonna be one hell of a game, Jesus. But
that's a nice collection.
That is gonna be a nice collection. Normally, that's like, what is it? Those are. I don't even know where you can find those cartridges anymore for a Game Boy. You have to emulate them, if anything.
You probably could. I don't know. You could probably still. Well, you could emulate them definitely, but I was like, you could probably still find them at like GameStop or something.
Probably.
Oh yeah, it's only like $100. It's only like $120 for the first Final Fantasy game. That was Final Fantasy 2.
You looked it up. I see.
Okay, that's what I meant by that. Some of those things are collectible items.
It's for the freaking NES. What do you expect?
No. We're talking about like the Game Boy ones, but like, yeah, no, fair enough. The NES ones, yeah, would be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the original.
The original one, having the first one, I think the second one being remastered, have the better graphics, at least the pixel art. Nice.
Yeah, 1 through 6 is currently available on Steam for $75.
There you go.
Okay. Right.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
They never said that
a steal to get the pixel remaster then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think they're gonna come for it because the pixel remaster I think is being pre-order available for the Switch. Steam, you have to buy them. Well, yeah, yeah.
All right. That's not bad. What's another one?
The second one, it just caught my eye. Them fighting herds. They're getting a new character.
Oh, they are.
It's Stronghoof. He's
voiced
by Vegeta.
Yeah, Chris Sabat.
Chris Sabat.
I'll admit, I did not look at this trailer.
Yeah, Chris Sabat is Stronghoof.
God damn, it really is Vegeta.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, Chris Sabat. Yeah.
Sounds like Piccolo when doing this, actually. When you're hearing him, and it's.
Man, F this game.
I know, right? So Wolf is going to be rolling and enjoying this. But
nothing wrong with them fighting herds. It's a good fighting game, but fuck off.
But it looks interesting. His combos are neat. It's kind of funny how he just has a sword and he has a guy who swings it too and other ice abilities. His ult is interesting. He basically makes like an ice sculpture almost, encapsulating the enemy, and he then just goes on this monologue of how their powers, how their nation is just so strong and great, and he just keeps going and going as he brings out a sword and destroys it. and he's just really passionate. He cries at the end. It's just like, okay, all right. It's something. It's something else.
This is the thing.
But yeah, those are my two. Unless I find something else, I think that'll be it. And again, what mainly caught me off guard was the fact that Vegeta and Piccolo are in this game.
Basically, yeah. He gets the tears with it too,
Yep.
bro. If they don't get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Stronghold.
Oh, Tatsumaki's in the game. I don't know that.
Yeah, Texas and Stronghold. They're putting the boys in the game now. Basically, is what's happening.
Texas,
They're following
you know,
the exact same thing as
Yeah.
Skullgirls.
well, Texas, you know who he's voicing Texas?
No, who?
Frankie from One Piece.
Oh, did
Oh
I?
my god,
I
really?
didn't know that.
Yep.
I did not know. Bruh.
This what a cast.
Or for Bleach fans, he's also Kenpachi Zaraki.
F this
Oh my
game.
god.
F this game. Look, man. You could have your My Little Pony fighting game. It's sick.
Actually, no.
Good job.
Biggest one, especially for other fighting games. Patrick Zeltz also voices Ragna, Blood Edge.
Bruh.
Oh my god. Interesting.
Alright, Pele. What you got? Which ones you picking, bro?
Alright, so, let's see. I would like to talk about... We already talked about Fortnite, so we don't have to worry about that one. Alright, I just want to complain a little bit for this one. Well, Jason Momoa criticized by fans over Ezra Miller's support and ignoring DCU actor issues. We get... So, as I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, Ezra Miller is currently in a lot of hot trouble due to both assault as well as grooming measures, but still is part of the film as the Flash and everything.
Yep.
The current issue now is Jason Momoa has pretty much been keeping quiet about saying anything after everything Ezra Miller has done, which is on a personal level I get for it, and that's fine. He's only a fellow actor, not a studio head or anything like that. So it's mainly okay. It's just that everything that's been happening with it, I still can't believe the guy still has a career.
Yeah.
Because people has lost careers for way fucking less.
Significantly less.
If I make a quick detour, for some reason I just watched the Texas trailer from Then the Fighting Herds.
Mhm.
This man has a muda muda.
Shut up.
This fucking cow has a muda muda. Also, I find it intriguing that the fact that they're now introducing male characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're pulling the same road as Skullgirls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Skullgirls didn't have any, well, for obvious reasons, didn't have any male characters in it until the DLC.
Really?
And then they
I
got
mean-
two.
Was big.
I mean, with Texas, you should also familiar, especially for My Hero fans. Can't you hear him?
But
Please
My
don't say
Hero?
it's something. Is it All
Yeah.
Might?
No.
Okay,
Chris
cool.
Sabbath.
No, because
Number-
that's Vegeta.
yeah.
All Might was
Number
the- yeah.
number two.
Technically,
He's
All Might's
Endeavor.
in here now.
He's Endeavor.
Oh my god.
Bruh. You got All Might and Endeavor in the game.
But I was gonna ask, I didn't. Was Big Bang not automatically in there?
No, he was DLC.
No,
was
yeah,
DLC.
he was
Big
Big
Bang.
DLC.
Big Bang was DLC.
Okay.
That
Big
what I
Bang.
knew.
Man.
Big Bang. Woo!
Big Bang. Back on the.
So yeah, we got Pele. Continue
All right.
with the
Back on
Pele,
the
continue with
nonsense.
Oh yes. So I was wanting to complain, just like with Jason Momoa being criticized by fans. Like I think it's a little bit early to really say for sure on that front, but I believe it's mostly like contractual obligation because you don't want to ruin a film before it's fully out yet. So you can't really say anything is one possible way I see it. So, but hey, it's all completely fair game. Once the movie's out and made its money, however much it is, then say all the shit you want.
That's fair. It's fair game.
That's what
I'm
I
not
see.
gonna shoot myself in the foot.
Yeah, and that's what I see it for sure. But hey, we'll see how that goes down the line on that. Hopefully, hey, the Flash movie is good. We heard it say it's good. I don't know if it will be, but
Apparently, it's sounding pretty good though.
it's sounding pretty good. But hey,
That second trailer showed way too much.
I-
Way too much.
that's why I don't watch second trailers, Imani.
Like, look, it couldn't be helped. It was literally in the movie theater after a certain point.
No, I know, I get that, but still, like that's why if I don't see it if I don't see it on my own time, yeah. Oh, hey, one last pop up. You want to know why the Murmura's in the game?
And why?
Why?
Because Patrick Seltz voiced Dio.
Oh my god.
Well, there you go.
Makes sense. Okay.
It's right there. F this game.
Oh, let's see. What's another big protagonist they could have had in there to it? They could get they could easily get Matthew Mercer to voice another character. Just have the Oro post it just set up for Texas as well.
Yeah.
They could do that. They could easily just do that.
They could
But yeah.
get Goku in there. If they fucking did that, that'd be like.
Oh, if they got
grandma.
if they got Sean Schimmel in here, it's gonna be great. They got fucking Sean Schimmel in this game would be amazing. But yeah, let's see. The next one I kind of want to talk about. Oh, for sure. Tekken 8 director confirms crossplay and rollback netcode.
Not the one I
Fighting
thought you
Games
were gonna
fan.
mention.
Yeah. Huh?
Not
Oh,
the one
no.
I thought you were gonna mention.
What were you expecting me to say?
Resident Evil Death Island.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not really that excited to see it because I've seen all the Resident Evil anime movies already. They've always been kind of lackluster, but I did enjoy them. But I have to watch them for lore context. That's about
But
it.
this one's got like everybody. It's all the world wars.
Not all the stars
They're
are
all
there. We're
together.
still missing Bear. We're still missing Barry. We're still missing Barry.
But we got the main ones.
Yeah, we got Chris, Jill, Rebecca, Leon, and Claire, and I'm happy about that. But it's probably still going to be like a very confusing story details because every single movie has kind of been listless, weird plot type of scenario. Great performance in the action sequences and everything like that. But like in terms of actual films, like, type of deal.
It's like, what is happening here?
I enjoy them more than fucking W.S. Anderson's films. I'll say
That's
that.
fair. That's fair. They are
Yeah.
way better by default.
I wouldn't still put them as a
Actually
high
about
category. Well, I'll see this in July. I'll probably see it in streaming, to be totally honest. I'm not that interested.
I don't think it's going to be in the movie theaters, is it?
It's released on July 7th, 2023. I'm not sure if it's going to be direct to video as the other ones were, or if it's shown in cinemas, like, that's pretty ballsy, but alright.
I know, right? All right. Making some big waves here if they do it. But yeah, Tekken 8 is getting crossplay, though.
Woo!
Rollback net play.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fighting games fans rejoice! Woo! Tekken 8's
We finally got Tekken to do it.
Now we just gotta get Soul Calibur 7 to
that'll
fucking do
be
the same.
Look, man.
That would be.
I mean, it's
very
not that it can't happen. It's just they gotta make another one. They just haven't bothered. They're not bothered.
No.
It's just gonna be unfortunate that the game that has rollback netcode doesn't have 2P in it. So sad.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss my robot girl.
But Tekken 8 looks dope, and I can't wait to try it out once the beta drops for it for sure. I know we can still got Street Fighter 6 coming up soon, so me and Amani are definitely excited for that one.
Hey, Aaron,
Actually, I
your
was
turn.
looking at specifically the Escape for Tarkov is adding an arena mode, which is basically gonna make you like regular FPS, kind of like a deathmatch.
So like a
which is
deathmatch
really
type of
fun.
deal?
It looks interesting. It's taking them a really long time to implement it. A very long time. Like they talked about this a while ago.
Because the game's been like, what, in alpha for a good while now?
5 years, 6 years, probably more.
Ooh.
I'd say it's been an alpha for a minute, bro.
Yeah, it's taking a minute.
And I mean, this is cool. It's actually really cool. It'll be interesting because like it's not going to be using your characters. It's going to be a way more relaxed way of playing Tarkov because Tarkov.
Yeah,
is
because I know
stressful,
Tarkov is like
actually.
stressful because it's like you
Yeah.
lose.
But
you
the
lose
thing is, about
everything
it, I
if you
really
die.
hope they do something about hackers because I know that there's still a really big issue with hackers on Tarkov.
Yeah, if it's an indie studios, I believe them to be.
You know,
That's
but
probably
especially
not
if they're
gonna
doing an
happen for a
arena
while.
mode, they're gonna have to fix that because that's just like
Because
hackers are
going to bombard that. Hold on.
you know. So like, I don't know. It's interesting though. Like definitely piqued my interest because it's like, hey, it's a more relaxed way to play it. So I'll take it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Way
Hey, less stress on
fucking
my life in video
stressing
games,
the fuck out. You know what I mean? And then I also wanted to talk about the fact that Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League has been officially delayed to February 2024. Something that surprises, I don't think, anybody here. I don't think a single person. But
All
more
that could
importantly,
possibly mean to me is that they are doing
Amani,
full
it's not
reworks.
Amani. Here's the
Yeah.
thing: it's
On
not
that
enough
game.
time for them to drastically change that much of the game. It's less than a year, you know. So like they have to like the biggest issue that people had was that it was very clearly the monetization heavy live service game, and like they're not going to be able to change the way the game plays. They're not going to make the game melee based all of a sudden. No, they already have a looter shooter base. Everybody uses guns, and then you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna be using guns.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it does
mean,
scream
yeah, but I
overhaul.
don't think it's
That's scream-
enough. I don't think they're
Absolutely.
gonna be able to do enough to physically make that game worth it. Like, I just don't think so.
Well,
You know, even with all hands
all
on
hands
deck,
on
they'd
deck,
like
because,
even with
you
all
know,
hands on deck,
EA
they would have
Magic.
to almost make a new game at this point, and they don't have the time for that. You know, so I
Yeah.
hope they can do something. But I mean, I don't know.
it's a desperate, drastic situation because the game originally was
Yeah, I know.
less than a month
It's-
away from release.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a huge amount of time being given, especially since it was about to come out.
You know, and
So like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be enough time for
they
them
can
to change
something,
two
but they're not
characters
going to be able to
to do
fix the
certain
game
more
loop.
things.
They're not going to
Yeah,
be
like,
able to
it's
fix
'cause,
the
like,
game loop.
For instance,
They're not going to be able to fix
well, no,
the game
they
loop.
could change the game loop. That is one of the things that they actually could overhaul. Because a part of me is like, yeah, sure, we could. It depends on what they decide to focus on. Obviously, if they decide to focus on changing the game loop, they have literally enough time to just change the game loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they decide to change how the characters play,
They can't change the
literally
story.
Have
The
enough time for just how the characters play.
They can't
do
change
both.
the,
It's not
they
enough
can't
time
change the
for both.
story. The story's going to probably be untouched the entire way through.
Oh yeah, no, I don't expect the story to change. The story's done, right? Like the story's not the problem with that game. Well, not really. It was like, but
The core structure is what's the
core
problem.
structure is the problem. So it's like there's only two big major issues that they could change,
Microtransactions.
and they
get rid
really
of.
only have enough time for one. So we'll see which one it is.
Okay, see the thing is, if they don't change the gameplay loop, but they got rid of the microtransactions, it'll be a slightly boring game in my opinion as a looter shooter, which is I would take versus something that's extremely predatory.
I guess at most they can take away the microtransactions and then probably, judging on what they might do, maybe it might be a more XP kind of situation. Like basically, you know how Gotham Knights feels, where it's like really grindy for no reason. There's a chance that they might be able to fix that, right? Be like, look, we took those away, we adjusted the XP system so you don't have to do nearly as much. Done, right? And then it's just a co-op shooter that has loot, but it's not like it's you gotta do like a bunch of re-rolly predatorial things. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to grind out for loot gear, whatever. But that's why I'm saying it's only enough time to fix one of those major problems. Like it's either gonna be something like that, or they change how. Because to be fair, they only have to change how two characters play.
Deadshot doesn't need to change. Harley
Deadshot doesn't need to change. Harley technically doesn't need to change.
Like Captain Boomerang and King Shark have to both change.
Oh, they have to change. They have to. So, one or the other is what they're doing. That's my only assumption. And obviously, all the characters are going to have melee attacks. Just simply making King Shark like putting his melee buttons instead of guns.
About it is like,
right?
their abilities or whatever, because you're gonna be attacking with a gun most of the time, so they're all gonna play almost entirely the same. Like I just
Oh yeah, that's what the hope is. So the hope is that they have enough time to fix
two characters,
how those two characters play, because that's the only two you need to prioritize, or like the microtransaction heavy like loot system.
Change the grind so they don't progress.
I do not agree that they have enough time to change both of those things. They cannot completely fix the game, but they can only get rid of one of those problems. I guess we'll take the more. I'd be more willing.
Idealistic
to take
route.
Well, no, I'd be willing to take the. I guess so. Yeah, the taking out the predatory aspects and maybe making it just a co-op loot shooter, right?
It'll be a little bit boring, but I take
it's
that.
It's a little boring, but it's a little better that way, right? Than it would be to have them change, like, you know,
two characters, but still keep the grind.
But like, yeah, the grind is still just as bad. The predatory system is still in there, and you're like, I mean,
I think,
at least, like, you're sitting there like, at least King Shark and like Boomerang play right, but like this money though.
Yeah, for example, I know you guys personally do not want a repeat of Gotham Knights. That's all.
Yeah, not really. I mean, Gotham Knights is weird. It's such a, like, as we're going through, it's such a weird game. Because it's very clear that they had like passion in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work in it, but then there's parts of it that are silly. Like, we were playing the other day, and like it was like the part where it's like you get introduced to the Court of Owls, right? And you get introduced to them in the most classic evil bad guy. They throw you in a pit, and there's a bunch of saws, you know. And like straight up, I literally had to go Amani. I literally was losing it. I was like, Amani, like look at this, man. Look at this. I was like, this game went from like a Batman game to fucking like that, and then there's a part where you go investigate an area, and it's at the top of a skyscraper, mind you. At the top of a skyscraper, the very top, you open a secret door, and it's like this run-down, old-ass looking fucking sewer-looking thing. We went
into a skyscraper
like
and found
and it's
ruins.
like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. This is a skyscraper. So it can't make sense. Like, why the fuck is...
It can't
You go into a
like
building and there's ruins everywhere. Like, what the fuck?
Be, like, at least...
We went in at the top. I could understand if we made like a super large jump.
No,
or
you
took
just
an
walk in
elevator
and it's
down
like
or something.
completely different inside and out. Like
we opened a secret wall door and then suddenly it's like
the I thing had to go back in and out 3 times. Like there's no way. Like right, there's gotta be like. There's no way. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Like, the Court of Owls give me the most evil, generic bad guy vibe. Like they throw you into a pit and it's like, okay, well, most normal humans would probably die by like the fall probably, but then there's on top of that like a wall starts closing and it's a conveyor belt with a bunch of saws and flamethrowers. It's like the most old-timey ass fucking like classical soup like megalo like I was so thrown off. It was so different from like the rest of the game. I was like, what the Amani? I legit was like, Amani, like look at this, man.
So the Court of Owls less of a threat, more of a
cartoony as
fuck. Cartoon villain.
Yeah, like it was super cartoony on that part. The movie was like,
the rest of it is not, and then that is, and it's like, why? Why is it so fucking cartoony?
Is the Joker?
No, the Joker is not.
No, he's not in this game.
No, I'm saying for the trap. Did the Joker design that one?
No,
it felt like a Riddler trap. Like it felt like a Riddler.
Joker did not design it.
The Riddler would fucking do, not something the Court of Owls would fucking do.
He's like, it's the Riddler would do this, but like have like a puzzle to solve right while this is happening. So you're like, you know what? That's kind of
make it from one end to the other, and a cutscene will start. It was so fucking annoying. And then like the movement in Gotham Knights, like when you move your analog stick, it's not like your character is very accurate. You'll like lightly touch your stick and fucking move like 15 feet to the left, and it's like, no, I wanted to go like slightly to the left, not that way.
That is probably my biggest complaint. Like fighting in it is like all right, but like moving your character is so strange,
so tanky.
It's like
you feel
super
like a tank,
sluggish.
where you have to make these really weird turns.
Wide turns for no reason,
human
even though, like,
being.
you're a superhero. That should just. In fact, forget it. You're a super. Not only are you a human being, right? But you're a person. You're specifically people who are agile, like, and you feel the opposite of agile. Like we're over here jumping off of skyscrapers and leaping over rooftops, and it's like I can't turn around right though. I can't just do a quick turn.
Know how they feel. Actually. You can't do that.
It takes a minute to get a nice turn. I gotta get a good angle. I gotta swivel out a little bit so I can come in.
I don't know. If it's anything, if that Suicide Squad game it plays anything like at all, like movement based at least, same like Gotham Knights, it's not gonna feel great. Cause
yeah.
I
It does look like it plays better than that though. Like, it's weird. We talk a lot of junk about, like, how generic it looks, because it's kind of generic third-person shooter. Granted, I like dashing generic third-person shooter, because it's kind of fun, but, like, you know, it's a little, right? Like, it looks like the movement is fun. It looks like it plays well. It just doesn't look entertaining because of, like...
Yeah.
what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of picking anybody if everybody's gonna play the same? It's like, I guess they wanted it to be like a unified co-op experience, but like considering the characters are, then don't choose characters who are that different, right? It's like, just don't choose characters that are that extremely different. If that was the case, it was like, it's because we had this argument we've said this multiple times. The fact that I'm playing King Shark with a minigun doesn't feel right. Doesn't make any sense. I'm King Shark. Why am I pulling out a pistol? I don't even think he can use pistols. He has big hands.
Or have the gun be... it would be kind of neat. If for some reason the guns are custom for him. They just like...
He has custom guns.
Scaled to him so it works. Or some of that variety.
It actually would make it worse.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be funny, because you'd be like, oh wow, he physically has a larger hand cannon than everybody else. But you'd also gotta look at it and go like, did they really just scale up the hand cannon for everybody else and then just give it to King Shark? He was like, what kind of shit?
Yeah, it didn't seem realistic.
Or better yet,
bigger gun.
or better yet, every gun. Imagine if they make this change. Imagine if it's something just as stupid as this. And like, you're correct, like they just give King Shark bigger guns. But then they, like, the complaint for Captain Boomerang is that they just staple 2 boomerangs to any gun he has.
Yes.
So technically he's using a boomerang.
Yes.
Technically he's using a boomerang.
No. He still has the boomerangs, but the boomerangs are guns.
Yeah, so he pulls out a boomerang and then just shoots.
Yes.
No, just go. Now
Pulls
go
out
to
the boomerang instead of throwing it. He like aims at the guy and pulls the trigger and it just kills him.
You're like, but it's a boomerang, and you're like, what?
That was so much fun.
It's just a boomerang with a trigger on it. Like,
You know what? That would be a great way if some reason that was a scene to kill the Flash, something like that. He's just like, all right, throw your boomerang. It's not gonna do
Gunshot.
anything to me. Shoots a bullet. Shoots right in the head.
Gunshot from the boomerang.
Wait a second. Either the Flash dies or he's like slow motion. Just like,
This man just shoot a fucking.
It killed him out of pure.
He just wasn't
expecting.
expecting.
What the fuck?
You know.
Yeah.
Why do you
like,
have a bullet in the boomerang?
It's really
I'm trying to kill it.
like, for me, it's like just strange that they chose to go the whole like let's just give them guns way route, because it's like I get like Harley Quinn having like she always has like pistols or something, like she always has like sidearms, like something like that, you know.
Like a big
But
ass
she has
Magnum,
usually,
like
like,
baseball
it would have
bat.
been like
Pistol,
better
right?
for
Yeah.
them
Baseball
to
bat.
be fully focused on their abilities. Like Harley Quinn's got like the jokey pistols and like the baseball bat now because she doesn't use the hammer. She's got the baseball bat, and then it's like, oh, King Shark.
He still has the hammer. It just depends
the
on
baseball
who's
bat
writing
is
at
kind
the
of
time,
taking
honestly.
over the
It
hammer
just depends.
role at this point. That's like the new Harley Quinn, anyways. It's like not associated with Joker.
Because they couldn't really give her the hammer in the movie,
No, it's
so
not
they
even
just gave
that.
her
I
the
think it's
baseball
like
bat
because like the
instead.
big thing was like it was more associated with the Joker, and she didn't want to be associated with like herself when she was with the Joker in like the comics.
With Joker,
yeah.
so she gets the
But
she gets the baseball
but
bat,
like
'cause that's
you
the
know,
way of doing
King
it.
Shark
Yeah.
should have been an all melee character, like full melee. Give him like
Just straight up,
not even
yeah.
weapons, just have him be a fucking tank. Captain Boomerang would be just let him throw
Punches,
shit
claw
constantly. Have his
swipes,
Boomerang be like
make-
explosive or.
One of the things I complain about, let him
Deathshot
swim
having guns
through
is like,
the
yeah,
ground in the
please
building.
that's his whole thing. Please give him the
That's
guns.
his
That's his
thing.
whole thing.
But giving
If you
everyone
did
else
not
guns,
give Deathshot guns and switch him with
giving
swords, it would
everyone
have
else
been
guns
fucking
makes him having
confusing.
guns feel like okay, he's just that's his whole thing is just okay, cool. He's got
Yeah, it
Oh,
kind
yeah, and Captain Boomerang, with the, Captain Boomerang never uses fucking boomerangs.
If not, you could have just replaced those 2 characters if you wanted to do this with Deathstroke
Yeah.
and Bloodsport, and we would have been like, fine.
Or
Put fucking Peacemaker
Cool
in there.
characters. Or Peacemaker, right?
Peacemaker
that would be
would
funny.
work,
Peacemaker
yeah.
just replaces Captain Boomerang. Done, right? Like
Done.
funny. Funny, interesting team. They're definitely gonna fight. Whatever, right? Like it's fine. You keep Harley Quinn, you're a little disappointed she doesn't use the bat more, but whatever. Who cares? Right? You could have did that. They didn't. They chose like wildly different characters with wildly different personalities and don't really use any of the superpowers for them. But we've had this conversation multiple times on the podcast. So we're going to leave that alone for now. In fact, it's actually time to end this episode. So
really? All right.
yeah.
keep an eye out.
So what we're going to do is what's the title? Yeah, no, we got plans for that.
Title.
But
So
what's our
then-
title going to be for this one? What are we calling this one? That was a
don't fucking buy huskies and have them in a hot area, you fucking animal. I don't know if we can do a title that long.
No, I don't think we can. What was the one that you had in mind, Amani, that you originally did? That you said you thought you knew the title.
It was way back in the beginning.
We should probably...
It was way back in the beginning. It was, because we were talking about it. We were talking about how stupid it was.
Wait, are we wrapped up?
Was it something to do with Yuri on Ice?
Yuri on Ice. Yeah, I think it was
Yuri on Ice.
That you were talking about. We were talking about
something it's about Yuri on Ice.
It's very gay.
Like I'll go back and check.
Very gay.
No, I think it was Yuri on Ice or something else, but I'll go back and check. I know it was like mad early though. But that one might be it, unless someone has another suggestion.
I don't think I do.
Them fighting herds. Fuck this game with quotation marks.
It's a fuck. As much as maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
Hey, you guys been saying all fucking...
I've been saying it.
Exactly.
It's been me.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But it's still...
For me, I fangasm when I see my favorite voice actors in certain things. The fact
it's surprising.
Yeah.
I just don't think of it for...
Oh yeah, no, you didn't expect Dio to be in this game, huh?
No. Especially him voicing an animal...
A bull?
Dio's throwing knives at police. Yes. Doing muda-mudas.
Oh,
hey, Monty, remember that time we were playing Them Fighting Hurts and we got to do the color scheme? $5, here's a color scheme of Dio for Texas.
There probably is. Even for
probably
Stronghoof, there's probably going to be one for like Vegeta or Piccolo.
Piccolo or
if there's not
Vegeta.
one for Piccolo, I want my money back. But there we go. All right, I'll go look back, see what that one was, see what the title for that one is, somewhere in there. But, that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode. So, as usual, say guys, hey, if you have questions for us and things like that, and you want to contact us via emails, you can go to paperplayaction@gmail.com. That is paperplayaction@gmail.com. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter and send dog photos and pet photos to us so that Aaron may enjoy them. And in fact, probably all of us because we enjoy pets. If you have weird pets, like Aaron said before, paper_action.
Send me your weird pets.
That is paper_action.
If you're gonna send spiders,
specifically send
put, like,
pets
a
of your
warning so that if Amani opens it, he doesn't have a fucking like.
Yes, Amani loves tarantulas. Trust me. He also loves it when you have it and you play the tarantulas in your mouth. It comes crawling out of there.
Burn you. And the spiders. But besides that, obviously, you can do the obvious thing. You can always hit the YouTube channel up too if you want to listen there. We're also doing the podcast, probably like a couple other stuff that's gonna be popping up soon. And if you would like to donate to us, support us, or do anything like that, because that exists, the link is going to be in the description below. It's also on Twitter as well. Or you can head up to Patreon and go there and become a member for as little as $1. Remember, all 20% of all proceeds go to charity of sort of our choosing. I'm not really sure what the charity is this time. I have to look it up. I'll make the announcement on Twitter and probably the next episode. I was supposed to do it this week. I messed up. He's like, so I'll do it. I'll do it later in the week. But besides that, I think that's gonna do it.
Goodbye, everybody.
We'll catch you all next time. Be sure to spread the show.
Bye.
Next time on Paper Play Action.
Don't know what happened to his voice just now.
Know. I wasn't really just trying just when it came out. Unless you want a voice.
I believe you.
We love all of you.
I don't know if I want one.
It would be our promo president,
if anything. But we do have a nice little thing to play us out from N Major. Go check them out. Check out their stuff. But we're gonna get a nice little beat from that. No Weapon. Check it out, guys.
Right.
Have a good one.
Farewell.
Goodbye.